What is going on, people? Welcome back, Nick J. Francis channel once again. You know what it is, only facts. Boxing, Derek Chisora, Otto Wallin here, hoping to see a big knockout. Hoping to see a big knockout. It's the end of an era. Derek Chisora just bringing his career to a close. I think, what was it, the last dance, British boxing card. You know, we had some decent fights. We had Zach Parker not showing his best against Diallo. We had Williams against Uwaka earlier. Right now, we are in round 7 of Rafferty versus McMillan. Rafferty started to take, Rafferty was taking the early rounds. But to be fair, McMillan's starting to fight back a little bit, having some success. And, Rafferty's a big heavy hitter. What is he? What weight? Super lightweight. He's a big super lightweight, isn't he? So, British card. No kind of world titles and stuff. We've got silver titles, Commonwealth titles, that kind of thing. A lot of people complaining about the undercard for this, bro. It's Otto Wallin versus Derek Chisora, like on a Saturday night, TNT Sports. It's not pay-per-view. I don't know what man are complaining about. Like, it's a decent British boxing card, and ultimately this is what it's all about. And I'll tell you what, Rafi, he's starting to tee off, and McMillan, he's starting to get a couple uppercuts. I'm not sure. I don't know how long this is gonna last. I think he's got a little bit of breaking down to do, but I do think that Rafferty can probably start to smell a little bit of blood and think he can get a stoppage here, and that is definitely what he's going to be going for and trying to get 100%. All right hand has rocked back. The towel comes in. There we go. Yep, the towel's come in. Just as I was saying, I'm not sure how much more McMillan could take. His corner did throw in the towel. There was just a straight right, which wasn't super powerful. Wasn't a hook, wasn't an uppercut. It wasn't just a straight right hand from Rafferty, and McMillan just didn't fancy it. Not didn't fancy it. Buckled his legs a little bit, and when you're getting buckled with straight right hands like that, it's difficult, isn't it? Like I say, he fought back. He showed some heart, but round 7 they have stopped that fight. The next fight up is going to be the vacant WBA Continental Middleweight Championship. All of these belts is long names for some of these belts, but that's going to be coming up soon. That's going to be Nathan Heeney against Soufiane Karti of France, and we'll talk about that fight. But obviously, the main event: Derek Chisora versus Otto Wallin. A decent amount of jeopardy in this fight. A decent fight that you don't really know which way it's going to go, because I think a lot of us we're British fans, British boxing fans. We know Derek Chisora. Derek Chisora's been fighting a really long time, 48 professional bouts. He's 41 years old now. We're going all the way back to February of 2007, making his debut. Is that right? I think that might be right. 2007, making his debut. A long historic career from Finchley, of course. Obviously, well, from Zimbabwe by way of Finchley, North London boy. And we think about Derek, and he's tough and he's game, and sometimes you don't know what Derek Chisora you're going to get. And there was a period of time, he was a good gatekeeper for a long time. When he fought Dillian White Part 2, that looked like, for me, even though he lost that fight, that looked like, for me, some of the best Derek Chisora that we had seen. He looked, he was well up for it. He looked really conditioned. As when he first started working with Don Charles, and he looked like he was in great shape and great condition. But ultimately, if you're not a British fighter, if you're not a British fan, sorry, he's got 35 wins with 23 KOs, respectable. 13 losses, 4 KOs. Now, 3 of those losses are to the same person. They're all to Tyson Fury, but he's got some notable wins and some notable losses. So I'm curious to know how people kind of rate his career. Lost to Tyson Fury, of course. I'm just looking at his box record. Lost to Robert Helenius, lost to Vitaly Klitschko, and losing to Vitaly Klitschko, no shame in that. Helenius was 16-0 at the time as a younger, fresher Helenius, but then lost to David Haye, who was coming up from cruiserweight, couldn't really impose his size and kind of bully him in the way he would have wanted to. Obviously, the rematch with Tyson Fury, as I said. Lost to Kubrat Pulev at a time when Kubrat Pulev was really, his stock was starting to drop. And Kubrat Pulev himself wasn't looking great at that time. Who else did he lose to? Then he come back with a win against a Swedish fighter. Obviously, he's fighting a Swedish fighter tonight in Otto Wallin. Loses to Dillian White. Beat Filipovic, and then loses to Agit Caballel, who's going to be fighting obviously on the February 22nd card. So lots of up and downs, losing to a couple of wins, beats Carlos Takam. Carlos Takam was down twice in the 8th round, then loses again to Dillian White. Lots of up and downs in this. Beat David Price, loses to Usyk, loses Joseph Parker, loses Joseph Parker again, beats Kubrat Pulev, and gets revenge on Kubra Pulev, loses to Tyson Fury again, and then since then he's beat Gerald Washington. And the fight I was at live watching it at the O2, yeah, and that was the one that's really kind of got us here, I guess. Obviously, all of that's got us here, but the one that's really got us here directly is beat Joe Joyce. You know, that Joe Joyce fight, just overhand right, overhand right, overhand right. It was in the summer of last year. Went to see it with a couple of my boys, Rick and Jack, and it was a good night out. And again, good quality British boxing. Dennis McCann was on that card. It was a good night. Joe Joyce was someone that was thought he's beat some people that were thought of in and around that world class crop. Not quite the top guys, you know. He's not beating an AJ or a Fury or even a Dillian White. Dillian White was number one mandatory at that time. He's had a really up and down career, and I think he's more known really for his drama and the escapades outside of the ring and entertaining stuff and all the rest of it. And then he's going in against Otto Wallin, and Otto Wallin has got a really respectable record. He's only got 2 losses, 27 wins, 15 KOs. We might see this go the distance because both of them, I mean, what's Derek's KO record? 23. So what's that? 17, a little bit over 50, maybe 60% knockout record, and kind of the same for Otto Wallin. So, you know, over 50% knockout records for both, but not massive, not in the 80, 90 percentile. And then Otto Wallin, to be fair, we look at him as a bit of a knockover job because his record's not his record is good, but the quality of opposition isn't as good, and that's what makes this an interesting fight for me. He's only got 2 losses. They're to Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, who were considered 2 of the best heavyweights in the world. One of them was by stoppage, but one of them was on points. And like I say, the rest of his record is very good and very respectable. But previous to the Tyson Fury fight, everything's in Europe. Everything's in Stockholm, Bulgaria, Copenhagen. And that's not to say these guys aren't good, but they're not guys that are really on the world level, right? So in a fight like this, I really don't know. I think this could go either way. Otto Wallin doesn't really lose. He's not very experienced at losing, but I think Derek Chisora for me has got to be the favourite because he's just got experience to survive, experience knocking people out. You know, he's knocked out some big names, and I don't think Otto Wallin has knocked out anyone with names like what we would see. You know, I know David Price doesn't have a great chin, but David Price, he's a good boxer, really, really solid. The knockout to Spilker, I remember the knockout to Artur Spilker. I know because I remember I was at the boys over at my flat watching that fight. You know, and again, Artur Spilker at the time was decent. He put in a good performance against Wilder before Wilder landed that right hand. Carlos Takam, again, like I said, someone that I really rated. I thought he was just tricky. Do you mean just a tricky fighter to deal with? And you know, I don't know that I'm seeing Otto Wallin get through these fighters. I really don't know if at that time is Otto Wallin getting through these fighters. I'm not sure that he was, to be honest with you. So for me, I give the slight edge to Derek Chisora. Maybe I'm being biased because I'm British. If you man are watching right now, I've got a few people in the chat, like the video, subscribe to the channel and all that good stuff. But for you lot that are watching, who do you guys make the favourite in this fight? I'm saying, is it Derek Chisora? Are you favouring Otto Wallin? Am I being biased as well? Because, you know, we've got a lot of people that watch the show and watch the channel that aren't from the UK. And it's really interesting sometimes when you chat to people that's from the US or from other parts of the world, how we see our athletes versus how they see our athletes, or how we see each other's athletes. You know, they might look at Derek Chisora in America like just a bum. Do you know what I'm saying? And ultimately, you know, I'm not going to say he's a bum here. He's a good quality gatekeeper. I would say that. Do you know what I mean? He's a good quality gatekeeper. He is the person that I think Usyk went to heavyweight and had one fight. I think he had Gerald Washington or something like that. He had one kind of tune-up fight, easier fight, and then he went to Derek Chisora. And us watching him fight Derek Chisora, as much as there's a massive gap in their skills and their ability, obviously, but us watching Usyk, who's considered who is the best heavyweight of this generation and one of the best heavyweights in the last 50 years. Let's be clear, you know. Watching him fight against Derek Chisora really told us where he was at, because Derek Chisora is game, he's aggressive, he's dirty. And in the first couple of rounds, we know Usyk is a notorious slow starter, especially when he was just acclimatizing. Now against Fury and AJ, he's probably not a slow starter. He'll run through from round one, but he was a slow starter for a period of time. And a lot of that was to do with the fact that in their fight, you know, Derek Chisora is very, very tricky. He is difficult to deal with. And if you don't show Derek Chisora respect, he can hurt you. He's a big, strong guy. likes to get into a tear up. And what people like about Derek Chisora is that Derek Chisora is a fighter. He's not just a pure boxer. He's a fighter. He likes to fight. Ahmad Diallo in the chat. Wagwan. I've been talking for ages. Let me have a sip of my drink. Shout out to everyone in the chat right now. Like the video as well. Big love to everybody tuning in Saturday night here. Let me know where you lot are from or what time it is where you are. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got, like I said, we've got one more fight for a WBA silver Commonwealth bloody long title name. Do you know what I'm saying? Some type of title. You know, boxing got a million titles these days. One of these silver title things. But then we got the main event. Do you know what I'm saying? And I want to know if you guys think it's going to end in a knockout. Do you know what I'm saying? I want to know if you man think it's going to end in a knockout. I was even watching the Chelsea game. What's the score? I ain't caught really any of the football today. I've been so busy. I went for a massage earlier. Chelsea v Brighton. Chelsea losing in the fourth round of the FA Cup. Oh, okay. Okay. You know what? While I'm here, let me just check the check the scores right now. Newcastle just scraping past Birmingham. Boo, boo, Newcastle. Burnley beating Southampton. Southampton is so dead. Ipswich beating 4-1. Coventry expected. Cardiff and Stoke went to penalties and it's 2-1. Brighton beating Chelsea 2-1. 82 minutes in. Jeez. And Brighton robbed of a penalty as well. Brighton really need a win because they got slapped the other day by Nottingham Forest. Absolutely slapped. My dad's a Nottingham Forest fan. He was voice noting me and getting excited because he thinks they're going to win the league and that. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, they got slapped. They need to get some. They need some get back on someone. Like I say, this fight coming up, we've got Nathan Heeney from Stoke up against Soufiane Karti from France. Soufiane Karti's got 5 losses, 2 knockouts, and Nathan Heeney only 1 loss and 1 knockout as well. So and 1 loss from a knockout. So you know you'd make Nathan the favorite. 18 wins, 17 wins. Yeah, you'd make Nathan the favorite here. I don't know too much about these two men. I'm not going to sit here and lie like I am. I'm going to watch this fight and obviously commentate through the fight and really just keep thinking about and talking about the main event, which is Derek Chisora. And it's going to be the end of an era. Do you know what I'm saying? This you know, the Tyson Fury, AJ Wilder era has pretty much come to an end. Wilder is on his way to retirement. Tyson Fury has retired. AJ is probably contemplating retirement right now. And Dillian White is part of that. Alexander Povetkin, obviously. Oye, man like Nicolas, Wagwan, what you saying, my bro? Who else is part of that era? Povetkin has just had the last 10 years. I don't know if you lot saw this. He had so much drugs in his system. I don't know how they just found this out now, but they've scrapped the last 10 years of his career off his record. So I don't know if that means that it's not going to count for the other people's records as well, because then he beat didn't he knock out, was it Pulev or Povetkin that knocked out Dillian White? But AJ's knocked him out. It's like off his record. It's all mad. It's all mad right now. It's all, so I don't even know. But that era, Povetkin coming to an end, Carlos Takam coming to an end, even people like Frank Sanchez that I really had hoped for more. He was, for me, before David Morrell, Frank Sanchez was the exciting Cuban heavyweight that, you know, I put a lot of stock in and said, yeah, this is the guy. And he just never really hit the levels. He was always good. He was always a difficult fighter to deal with, technical, but he's never really that level. And ultimately, I think that Cuban style doesn't translate to heavyweights. Me and my boy have argued about this. He is from London. He's Moroccan, but he trains in a Cuban gym. And he's fairly new to boxing. If in my opinion, the Cubans have sold him a dream. I told him I don't think the Cuban style really translates well to heavyweight boxing because you have a lot of freaks in there that are not great technically, but can just knock you out. Obviously, Wilder is the best example of that. But even someone like a David Price, I think David Price is one of the hardest punchers I've ever seen in 30 years of watching boxing. He just has no defense and he can't get hit, but he's like a heavyweight Lawrence Okoli. They're very, very similar. But you just have freaks like that in the heavyweight division. So that Cuban style for me works with the lighter guys, doesn't really work in the heavyweight ranks. Do you know what I'm saying? Nathan Heeney here doing his ring walk, very animated, celebrating, like lapping it all up. Like I say, he's from Stoke, so you know he's going to be a character. And yeah, listen, Nathan Heeney, 35 years old, only 1 loss. He's fighting for a silver belt, which means he's going to be going for belts, right? He's going to be doing everything he can. He's in insane shape. Bloody hell, he's ripped to shreds, this guy. 35 years old, built like that, my days. But yeah, it's the end of an era. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it is the end of an era. Shout out to Axel in the chat. Yo, bro, I'm from Otto Wallin's hometown. That's mad. Sundsvall, Sweden. I'm backing my boy Otto on this one. That's actually wavy. That's so random. Do you know what I'm saying? You got to back your home. I mean, listen, you got to back the guys that are from your ends. That makes sense. Sport is very tribal, period. But But boxing is more tribal than any sport. Like it's particularly tribal. I like Otto Wallin. I do. You know, he's the guy that busts Tyson Fury's nose in that. You know, in he showed in that fight. If you take him for a joke, man, or you think it's going to be an easy fight, he's going to make it a long day for you. So I like Otto Wallin as well. I like him as a character. Shout out Sweden as well. I like Sweden. I like the gal in Sweden. You know, like that. Chisora's a good fighter, but he's never serious. Yeah, you do wonder how far someone like Derek Chisora could have gone if he had taken his career so seriously. Because, like I say, he had that little window of time where he first started working with Don Charles. They didn't used to get along. They started getting along. They mended their relationship, and Don started to motivate him and get the best out of him. And before, when he fought Dillian White for the second fight, he was really difficult for Dillian to deal with. Dillian was really struggling, and it was always just his conditioning. Chisora, he was coming out of shape, and he was just and the thing for Chisora, he's one of them man that on the road he can probably knock out 90% of man that he comes across. But in pro boxing, these man are so big, pause, that like it's so difficult. Like you ain't just knocking man out like that. Like you're not point blank period. You're not just knocking man over like that. So he has enough power to hurt someone, but not enough. I don't know. Maybe I think he's got enough power to hurt and knock someone out, but not enough technique to set up the shots. So that's the thing. Chisora is always there to be sort of outboxed, and he was doing a job on Dillian White, and Dillian just had the best left hook in the world at one point. Certainly the best left hook in heavyweight boxing. He just caught him with that check close left hook, and it was night night. But that was against the run of the fight. That was really against the flow of the fight, in my opinion. So what weight is Nathan Heeney fighting at? These men are fighting at. Oh, they're fighting at middleweight. Okay, 6 foot tall, middleweight. Kind of a big-ish middleweight, to be fair. But like I said, I did say he looks absolutely stacked with muscle. This Nathan Heeney guy, Nathan Hitman Heeney. He looks big for a middleweight. But yeah, I mean, like I say, you man, tell me, how good could Derek Chisora have been if he took boxing seriously? If he conditioned himself like Don Charles wanted him to condition himself, if he conditioned himself like that the whole way through his pro career, how good could he have been? Do you know what I mean? The only fight Usyk struggled in heavyweight was against Chisora. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? Like, at that time, Usyk, I said this earlier, Usyk was a very slow starter, and you knew as a heavyweight, you had to put it on him and bully him early, and Usyk would slowly make adjustments. So even when I watched the fight, even though Usyk was kind of struggling to deal with Derek Chisora, he wasn't struggling to deal with him for any technical reason. Derek wasn't moving or jabbing. He was just fighting quite dirty. He was making it a really ugly fight, and that's what Usyk, who's so clean and classy, doesn't like. But now this new Usyk, I think he deals with that so much better. He's fought AJ twice, comprehensively shut out AJ twice, especially in the second fight. You see him grow in confidence. He's fought Tyson Fury. He's growing in fought Tyson Fury again, growing in confidence every time. I think he would dust up someone that was trying to bully him like that. But yeah, at that time he was still adjusting to the weight, and 100%. It was really entertaining. Now looking back, because Usyk's gone on to be so great, when we look back at that Chisora fight, that's aged really well for Derek Chisora to say, actually, you gave him possibly a harder fight than AJ did. Certainly harder than AJ's second fight for sure. Do you know what I mean? So Derek, like I said, I think for me, Derek is going to sum up this era. We're going to remember the guys that held belts, obviously the AJs, the Furies, Wilders. Joseph Parker's still there. Joseph Parker is still there. He's still fighting the guys that are the new generation. You've got Moses Atoma is the new generation. Who else is there? Obviously Dubois, new generation. Talk of people like JR Pataya and these guys going up to heavyweight, and maybe Lawrence Okoli. That's all new generation. But that older generation, really, I think that kind of starts with Chisora. Chisora and Fury are kind of right between. They're just at the end of the Klitschko era / beginning of this era, and now that era is kind of coming to an end as well. So that's just what it is. Yeah, to be fair, Usyk improved a lot in heavyweight. 100%. He always took 2 or 3 rounds to just 2 or 3 rounds to prepare and to not prepare, to read what we're off in the first round, by the way, this Nathan Heeney fight. Let's see. This is probably going to go 12, but we'll have to see. But yeah, Usyk took it. He's going up against guys, especially on cruiserweight. The jump in size was massive. Do you know what I mean? The jump in size was absolutely huge. Like, you think at cruiserweight, one of Usyk's best wins at cruiserweight was fighting Murat Gassiev, right? Gassiev was a bit of a boogeyman in the cruiserweight division, and he was seen as a real problem. And him and Usyk was the battle of who's the best cruiserweight of this generation. Usyk smoked him in that fight, actually. But then you go and look at Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin isn't considered a top guy at heavyweight, but he beat Gassiev. Like, we think of Gassiev as a top guy. They're different weight classes, I know, but we think of Gassiev as a top guy. We think of Otto Wallin as kind of a middle of the road guy. And Otto Wallin beat Gassiev. So that just tells you the big difference that size brings. You can be a great slightly smaller guy, but 3 or 4 inches smaller, 15 pounds lighter, and it means nothing once you go up to heavyweight. It is crazy. Nathan Heeney just had Soufiane Karti in a headlock. Ref had to pull them out. I'll tell you what, Heeney landed a good right hand, and then Karti's come back with 2 good left hands. It's already shaping up to be a good fight. Good technical aggression fight. Soufiane misses with the left hand. Nathan putting some combinations together. It's a good fight. It's already a very good fight. But yeah, it's the end of the era. We're here. Hopefully, after this, we don't see him back. I don't want to see him back personally. He's 41 years of age. He's had some big nights. He's made some big money. And let's be honest, he's made more money than his talent really justifies. But, it's an entertainment sport. He's an entertaining guy. That's perfectly fine. I don't begrudge anybody making money. But for the sake of his health, he's got to just try and step away. He's tried to step away before. He started doing some promotional stuff, some work with the Saudis. He's a massively entertaining character. Derek can go on into his 50s. Good 2-piece from Nathan Heeney. Derek can go on into his 50s, not fighting, but just being part of promotional teams and doing stuff. He should work on that. That's why I think that he could be really effective. But Derek don't like hard work. That's what it is. He don't want to work at being a better presenter. He just wants to be the way he is. He don't want to work at being a better boxer. He just wants to be the way he is. That's Derek's big problem. Do you know what I'm saying? So, but in the social media age, listen, there's podcasts and live streams and YouTube channels, and there's all types of places for someone like Derek of his type of character and personality to go and get involved. But it can't be in the ring anymore. Not getting into your a couple of years from now, he'll be in his mid-40s, and I just think it's dangerous. He's been, as entertaining as he is, there's money, he's made money, he's been on the receiving end of a couple of bad knockouts, and they are bad. And we don't want to keep seeing enough people in their 40s. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're Jake Paul, he'll probably end up fighting Jake Paul in 5 years. That's what he'll do. Jake Paul will say that he's, they were talking about fighting for a belt. Brother, that must be his dad's belt, blood. You know what I'm saying? That must be a karate belt or something. I don't know what it is, but Nathan Rafferty slapping a big kiss on this man, bro, backstage. Hey, yo. Is that his trainer or his boyfriend, bro? That was a big kiss right on the lips, bro. That's gotta be his brother or something. Fair enough. He's kissed him again on the lips. Is that his boy? No, hold on, wait. I got to Google this. Is that his boyfriend for real? Because he's kissed him twice on the lips, like on a serious thing. 94 minutes gone, by the way, in this Brighton Chelsea game. Justice for Brighton, blood. Justice. You know what I'm saying? Round 2 in this fight. What do I even Google right now? Like, does Rafferty have a boyfriend? Like, what? Because he kissed him twice on his lips, bro. That's a bit. It's a bit extreme. It's a bit extreme still. What do you think of Canelo and Jake Paul fight? I just don't think Canelo's there at this point in his career. He's not there yet. Canelo is he's still, and he's one of the only undisputed champions in the world. He's still undisputed at 168. Jake Paul obviously offers a lot of money, but Canelo genuinely, and I don't like how Canelo has conducted himself over the last couple of years. We're going to talk about this on this week's show, so make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We've got a weekly boxing podcast coming out. But although I don't like the way Canelo's conducted himself, I don't like some of the people he's chosen to fight, and people are going to say mandatory, blah 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 blah. Although he's ducked Benavidez, in my opinion, he is a legacy guy. He is. When he says he cares about his legacy, I believe him. That's not bullshit. He's conducting himself in a bit of a shady way, but like all fighters do at the end of their career. But Jake Paul genuinely doesn't. Jake Paul damages his legacy more than he builds his legacy today. He might not damage his legacy in 5 years, but as of today, it damages more than it helps. Do you know what I'm saying? So I just don't see the point in it. And I don't even think that's a good fight for Jake Paul. I don't know what, you know. I don't know. I don't know. Like I say, 5 years from now, fine. And also, my main problem with Canelo, and I've been saying this, Shane's in the comments as well, and Shane will tell you, hit the like button and subscribe as well. And Shane will tell you, I met Shane like 2 years ago, and I've been saying since I met Shane, the way Canelo conducts himself is fine. He just has to relinquish the belts. He can do whatever he wants. He just can't do it while having the belts. He's keeping the belts hostage. Go and fight Jake Paul. You want to leave the belts behind, go make 100 million fighting Jake Paul? Go make 100 million. I'm down with that. I love Canelo. Go make your money, man. That's cool. I'll be there. I'll watch it. But we can't keep doing this. We can't. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Most scripted fight ever. And there's that as well. You know, we got to talk. You know, I feel like, you see how like we're finding out all this stuff. Not we, like we, man, no. Oh, big right hand from Heeney has just rocked Carty. And Carty, to be fair, he did get rocked. He used the ropes to come back, and he's immediately started fighting his way back. But I like this. I told you this is straight away. I thought this was going to be a spicy fight. Anytime I see somebody fighting after getting hurt, I think AJ needs to watch this. AJ needs to see how to recover from getting hit rather than just going into a show. But anyway, the thing is, just like we're seeing all this stuff about Diddy, and a lot of men that know about hip hop knew about Diddy the whole time and all the rest of it. But like, you know, certain things, they come out years later. This YouTube boxer thing, I'm convinced 10, 20 years from now, it's all going to come out that it's fake. It's all going to, when everyone's done and dusted, and it's too late to sue anyone or whatever, it's bad. Because I don't get how it can be so rigged and so fake, but they can take bets on it. You can gamble on it. You can go to a high street bookmakers and gamble on it and make profit off of it. And it's all rigged. It's the whole thing's rigged. Bro, it's like Bitcoin. Like on a level, like it's like cryptocurrency. That's what watching YouTuber boxing is like. Big man thing. Lahom, my boy Lahom, what you saying, my bro? We got another Frenchman fighting in the ring. Are you backing Soufiane Carty, bro? I've never heard of this guy, but you man are both French, so you might as well back him, blood. Do you know what I'm saying? Big up, Nick. Thanks for keeping the boxing streams alive. Learn and still learning loads from you and Shane, starting from your time on DR. That's big love. That's OG. We'll be back on DR Sports at some point. But that's big love, man. Do you know what I mean? I appreciate that, man. 100% I appreciate that. And we're on the road, man. We're on the road to 2K. So you know what I'm saying? Anyone that's interested in football, boxing, coming in, chilling with the live streams and bantering all the rest of it, send them the channel, get them to subscribe. We're on the road to 2K, man. You know what I'm saying? We started off, when I started doing videos with Shane, I was on like 200 subscribers or something. And thanks to you, man, regular viewers and all the rest of it, big man team getting us into the algorithm, all that good stuff. We're on like 1.4 thousand subscribers right now, which is crazy. 1,400 subscribers is a mad thing. So if it is serious, he could kill him. 100%. 100%. I mean, yeah, you can't go. Jake Paul didn't even look convincing. He didn't look great against Mike Tyson. And Mike Tyson was 60 and half dead. Mike Tyson, like, the doctor said he shouldn't fight, and he nearly had a heart attack. And 3 months later, he was fighting. And Jake Paul couldn't damage him. And Mike had to pull some of his punches. But to go and fight a prime Canelo is madness. Now, Jake is bigger than Canelo, granted. I will grant you that. But I think when people talk about influencer boxing, I think it's fine. Celebrity boxing, influencer boxing, crossover boxing, all that kind of stuff is fine. But it's fine when it's, I'm just moving the camera a bit closer. It's fine when it's Tommy Fury, and it's fine when it's Dylan Dennis and people that are not serious guys. But it's a problem when it's the top guys. We had the same problem when Tyson Fury, who was world heavyweight champion, went and fought Francis Ngannou. That shouldn't happen. That should not happen. You are the world heavyweight champion. That is bad for boxing. Do you know what I mean? And in the same way, Canelo is bigger than Tyson Fury. In world boxing, Canelo has bigger pay-per-views. He's been a champion for longer. He's been undisputed, which Tyson Fury hasn't been since the Klitschko days. Like, undisputed middleweight champion for the last like 10 years or however long it's been, 8 years, whatever. And you were going to fight a YouTuber in the middle of this. When there is, you should go and fight these guys when there is no food left on your table, when you've beat everyone in your division or whatever, and then you go cash out. Like right now, if Crawford went and fought a YouTuber, I wouldn't be mad at that because Crawford's looking around for fights. He's got Boots Ennis, who doesn't generate him the money that he wants to make. I understand that. And then he's got Canelo, where he has to massively step up 2 or 3 weight classes to go and fight him, etc., etc. So if someone like him did it, and again, he'd still have to relinquish the belts, but if he's cleaned out a division, I could understand that. But there's still food there for Canelo. Someone's been chasing you. 168, Benavidez wants that fight. There's a shout for Morrell deserving that fight, deserving a chance of that fight. There's fights out there for you, and you're going to fight a YouTuber. That for me is stinky, especially when you've got belts. That's really stinky in my opinion. Axel said, "Did you see the Leighton Orient goal versus City? Is this goal of the season so far?" I haven't, but round 4 has just ended. Well, round 3 has just ended. So let me see if I can just put it up on Twitter quickly. Let's see. Leighton Orient goal, yeah. The beauty of the internet, bro. Here we go. Oh, that's a rude goal. Wait, did it come off the crossbar and hit the goalkeeper, or did that go straight in? Am I being harsh to say that I might? Am I being harsh to say it might not be goal of the season because it's come off the crossbar and then hit the keeper and then gone in instead of going straight? Am I a dickhead for that? Be real, man. Then we're bridgings. Am I a dickhead for that? Because that, do you know what I mean, like, going into round 4 in this Nathan Heeney, Soufiane Carty fight. It's a bit like round 4. It's a bit like the Jorginho goal that we scored against Aston Villa a couple seasons ago, where it come off the crossbar, then hit the goalkeeper, hit Emiliano Martinez on the back of his head, and then went in. I'm like, it's a good goal, but I can't really. It's not even a shot on target. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not even a shot on target, so I don't know if I can do that. Shane said, get the likes up. Big facts. Shane is somewhere. Shane, yeah. You see the Shane guy. He told me, yeah, we can't do a show because he's away till Monday. I said, where are you away? Man wouldn't tell me. I don't know who he's with, or what he's doing, or who he's doing. But he didn't want to tell me where he was and what he was doing and that's cool. All of that's cool. I'll see you next week, Shane. Ball Knowledge said, big up to Nick, big up to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Big up to you. Love every time. OG Premier League vibes, though. You don't see players shooting from there anymore. It must just be nostalgia. Yeah, bro. What's sick about that goal is that what's sick about goals like that, yeah, is that he clearly meant it. Like the vision for you to be in the middle of the pitch and know the keeper's off his line and be able to see the keeper's off his line, and the audacity that you've got to think, I'm in the middle of the pitch against Man City and I think I can bag here against this goalkeeper. Who's that? Against Stefan Ortega, who's a very, very good goalkeeper, a Premier League level goalkeeper. I think he's been in like the Germany squad and stuff. And you think from halfway, like it's not halfway, but from the middle of the pitch, you can potentially, the fact that you think you can do that is rude. That on its own is rude, and the fact that it goes in is mad. So I can't have his goal of the season, but it's a rude goal still. Nathan Heeney's just been caught with a big left hand, and I tell you what, but up until this point, Nathan's been landing the more eye-catching shots, as Shane would say. But Soufiane's quietly been going about his work, quietly going. Obviously, I haven't been scoring this fight, but he's been quietly going about his work. And Nathan Heeney's mouth is mashed out, his nose, blood coming from his nose, and Soufiane trying to move in on it, but he needs to. I think, but both got blood coming from their nose. This is a really. I said from the first round, this is going to be a good fight. Soufiane needs to just move his head like he does there on the way in. He moves his head on the way out, but he doesn't move his head on the way in. So he's getting caught on the way in. So that work could be a little bit cleaner. And where Nathan Heaney's been the aggressor, another great 1-2 from Soufiane. He's just led with the jab and then big overhand right. Really, really good boxing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bruno said, raw. Shane wifed. Shane wifed Holly. So I'm working out the ends. Say no more, man. Say no more. I'm doing that bando work and that. Buy me a new camera. Do you know what I'm saying? My guy. Good defense from Soufiane. Like I say, again, good head movement and defense, but on the way out, not on the way in. Just walking in a little bit straight and a little bit upright. Do you know what I'm saying? So, do you know what I'm saying? My prediction. My prediction for the fight. I want to see a Derek Chisora stoppage. The thing with Chisora, Otto Wallin is a better technical boxer. Derek Chisora is got more experience. I'm looking at Otto Wallin's record. He had a run of like 10, 15 fights where he was on a tear, but that's very low level opposition. Although Chisora's record is up and down, he's against high level opposition. So I just feel like the experience of Derek Chisora should be able to get him through this fight. And it's going to depend on the condition as well. Because like, can this Derek Chisora fight for 12 rounds? I'm not sure. I might lean Derek Chisora stoppage. Again, not to disrespect Otto Wallin. He's only lost twice. And Otto Wallin has only lost to two of the best boxers of this generation. Anthony Joshua, when he was in his not his prime, but he was on the build up again after the losses to Usyk. And Tyson Fury, who's probably the second best boxer of this generation in terms of heavyweights. So do you know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. Shane said Otto Wallin is schooling Chisora. I don't know if he can school Chisora, bro. I don't know if he can, bro. Like who have we seen Wallin school? Like who have I ever seen Otto Wallin school in a boxing match? Dominic Brazil, bro. Brazil's not aggressive. Like when I'm looking at the names on his record, yeah. Okay, cool. He's beat Gassiev, but if I go back before he fought Tyson Fury, yeah, he's got no names, bro. I've probably fought bigger man than him, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I can name you man I punched up in Hounslow High Street. That's got a bigger rep than Otto Wallin's opponents. Big man thing. So he's he's got the technical ability to school Chisora, but he ain't ever been in the ring of anyone as aggressive as Derek Chisora. No way. No way. Apart from maybe AJ, and even AJ has calculated aggression. Chisora's got that stupid aggression. Let's see Chisora let's see Chisora finish him. Let's see Chisora knock him out. Shane's going Wallen on. Are you going Wallen on points then? Is that what you're going for? Because neither of these men have great. I think they're about, like I said, I think they're both around 60% knockout records. A little bit over half of their wins are knockouts, but they're not real knockout artists. But if one of them was going to be more of a knockout artist, you're looking at Derek. Derek's the bigger power puncher. This is a very, very good fight. Chisora doesn't have the tank to last more than 4 rounds. But, bro, I watched him beat Joe Joyce, yeah? And obviously, Joe Joyce is walking into punches and headbutting Derek's fist, yeah? But I don't know. When Nathan Heeney's caught with another left hand and another left hand. Could this be it? Soufiane Karti is looking for the kill. He's looking for the kill. Soufiane Karti's doing something really smart. Nathan's big and muscular, and Karti's driving his chin in the clinch into his shoulder muscle. I say smart. It's against the rules, but, still smart to see. Nathan Heeney was doing really well and imposing himself, and Soufiane Karti is just box his way back into this fight. Yeah, Wallen will win on points. Derek Chisora has had the gas tank. I would have picked him. Derek's gas tank, I don't know, man. I know what you're saying. He ain't got a good gas tank, but he's a momentum fighter. He is. And if he can hurt you, it's a long day, bro. I've seen Derek fight 2 or 3 times, and his gas tank has surprised me. I think Otto Wallin, for Derek to have a bad gas tank in the back end of the fight, Wallin has to work. He's got to make him use his gas tank. As I don't want to compare these two to Usyk and Fury, but in the same way that Usyk is going to make Fury use his gas tank, Wallin needs to make Chisora use his gas tank. And I'm not sure another check left hook from Soufiane Karti. These left hooks are rude, and he's starting to wiggle his shoulders and move around the ring now. That's a great round of boxing from Soufiane Karti. I've got to say that. I'd never heard of this brother, I'll be real, but that was a great round of boxing. Nathan Heeney's face is a mashup. He came in dancing to the ring and all the rest of it, bro. It's peak. Looking like Game of Thrones in that. Derek has a great gas tank. Nah, we're going too far. He ain't got a great gas tank. He ain't got a great gas tank. But Derek's very emotional. Do you know what I'm saying? If the fight is low output, he can fight for 12 rounds. He can. Do you know what I'm saying? If the fight's high output, then boy, all bets are off. Derek's done. Do you know what I mean? But it's what Derek turns up. What Derek turns up, that's the question. Chisora will be aggressive off the start. I hope he's not. Amadiala says he don't rate Wallen at all. I think Chisora in round 6. Maybe. Yeah, I felt it's a little bit early. 7, 8, 6, middle round 6, 7, 8. Start to turn up a little bit for sure. I could see that. He just looks tired from round 1. He does. He'll throw a punch in. He's got no balance, Chisora. Like he uses so much energy just standing up. know what I'm saying? If he'll throw a punch and then if it misses, he'll fall over and all that. He just looks lethargic. He's got that drunken master style. You know what I'm saying? This fight here, round 6, Nathan Heeney against Sufyan Karti, the vacant WBA Continental Middleweight Championship, bro. These tongue twisters for this belt, bro. What is this belt, bro? But to be fair, this has been a very good fight. A very, very good fight. Let me look at the middleweight rankings quickly and see where these men are. I doubt these men are ranked, but let's have a look. No, when I say not ranked, I mean not ranked in the top like 10, 15. But let's see where these men are at. Nathan Heaney's getting pieced though, bro. His corner man is doing the most work in the whole flipping arena right now. Why is this website taking so long to load? Man, a dickhead. Why is it taking forever to load, bro? Just looking at the people that are at middleweight and seeing if I can see them anywhere in this conversation, but I can't really. They're not. They're definitely not in the top 15 in any of the governing bodies. Do you know what I mean? They're fighting for this silver belt. But it's been a good fight. Thinking about who I might want to see Sufyan Karti fight next. It looks like he could. It's only 10 rounds. This is round 6. It looks like Karti could potentially stop Nathan Heaney. That would be a big upset. Surely. Got Shane Mosley Jr. in there. Chris Eubank Jr. is ranked number 3 with the IBF. Get out of here, bro. And number 6 with the WBA and number 2 with the WBC. Whatever. He ain't even gonna be fighting a middleweight, bro, because he's gonna fight that midget. That Fury trilogy is so stupid. Yeah, bro. We're talking about Jake Paul being fixed. Look at that trilogy, bro. I mean, professional boxing has fixes as well, bro. Look at that. Ridiculous. I feel like Shane is putting too much confidence into Otto Wallin, honestly. Too much confidence. Wallen has fought nobody, like. He hasn't fought anybody. Derek has been in there with Fury 3 times. 3 times. He's been in there with Fury 3 times. He's going to take experience from that. He's been in there with Deontay Wilder. Not Deontay Wilder. He's put you put 50 or you're actually a gambling addict, you know. Do you bet on dominoes? You see when the old people play dominoes in your yard, yeah? Do you bet on that? I can imagine you betting on the dominoes, bro, 100%. Yeah, listen, only facts boxing, please gamble responsibly and all them kind of things, bro. We're just about to get monetized. Shane's trying to get us cancelled at the same time. Brother, what are you doing? Like, we're trying to run a business here. Like, you just I knew you would bet on dominoes. I knew you would bet on dominoes, bro. Big man thing. Man said he's at work. What kind of foolishness? Do you know what I'm saying? Oh my days, bro. Yeah, bro. When I'm just looking at the names, yeah, cool. He's been in there with Joe Joyce, Olympic pedigree. Do you know what I'm saying? Joseph Parker, twice. Alexander Usyk, David Price, Artur Spilker, whatever. Even bro, David Price and Artur Spilker is the level. And Sufyan Karti has hurt Nathan Heaney. Nathan Heaney goes down. Is the ref going to call that a knockdown or no? He's going to say he slipped. No, he's counting him. Nathan Heaney can't. I don't think he can get up. He's saying to the ref, "I'm fine," but the ref's going to call it. The ref should call this. The ref should call that. The refs let them fight on. What's going on here? Oh, is Nathan Heaney's gum shield has come out, but the gum shield had come out before the knockdown, and rather than get the gum shield, the ref allowed him to. He did the count, and then he's going to do the gum shield, which Sufyan Karti feels like is just giving Nathan Heaney more time to recover. But Nathan Heaney looks like he can get put away here because he's going to get put away. He's not fighting back. The ref should. He's thrown one punch back. If I'm the ref, I'm probably stopping this. I'll be honest, because the ref was saying to him, "Walk to me," and as he was walking to him, he was still stumbling around. Nah, I think the ref should stop this. Nathan Heeney's out of this, in my opinion. Yeah, he's had his head smashed back of just a jab. The jabs are starting to hurt him. I would stop this. Good combination. Ref's going to jump in any minute. There he goes. Yep, now the ref jumped in. And from the last knockdown to just now, Nathan Heeney threw one punch and he just stood there and getting beat up. I don't know what the ref was waiting for. I would have stopped that the last time. You could clearly see there was nothing. Nathan Heeney wasn't coming back. What an upset that is, by the way. What an upset that is. Nathan Heeney versus Sufyan Karti. Nathan Heeney coming off of a loss. He had 2 fights with Brad Pauls. He lost the last one and then he drew the first one. And then apart from that, it's been all winning all the way. So second loss for Nathan Heeney and you know, difficult to take back-to-back losses. Can he come back? And he's lost to someone who himself has 5 losses. And he's mostly been fighting in France. He fought Gary O'Sullivan. This is Sufyan Karti, this is. He fought Gary O'Sullivan in Ireland, but the rest of it's all been boxing in France. He's got 5 losses. Even to fairly middle of the road, he lost to a guy called Frank Zimmer in France, who has a record of 7-2. You know, fairly and then other than that, he's beat not very experienced guys. You know, he's only had this only 23rd, 24th professional fight. What an upset that is. Shane said I'm not at work now. Shane, how do you have confidence in Wallen? Bum. Chisora's resume is arguably the best this era. This guy has been in with Vitali, Fury, White, Parker, Caballel, Hay, Usyk, Jerry Joyce. I agree. I agree. I'm backing him purely because of his resume. These Frenchmen are unknown but pull off upsets. Look at that brother who just beat Munguia. Yeah, facts. Facts. This guy, I tell you what, he was getting. Nathan Heeney came in really aggressive, and he just slowly started to turn the fight. Round 1, he got pieced. Round 2, he was on the receiving end a bit. Round 3, hit a couple of counters. Round 4 began to put the pressure. Round 5 made him and just slowly started breaking him down. That's a mad thing. Are we all in agreement? Yeah. Just because Ahmad Diallo said Chisora should fight Atoma now for his resume. Are we all in agreement that after this fight, Derek should retire? Like we will before we see the fight. So we're not gonna watch him lose and then say whether he should retire or not. We're not gonna watch him win and then say whether he should retire or not. Do you mean are we all in agreement now that he should retire after this fight? Are we all in agreement on that? Ahmad said that he agrees. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't want to change what I'm saying afterwards and all that kind of thing. Like, man wants to be consistent. Consistently, I'm saying he needs to, you know what I mean? But why what does the Atoma fight do? It, I don't even think it brings Atoma any closer. I don't think it does anything for Atoma. He could get hurt. He may win. He will win, and he'll probably get hurt on the way to the win. I don't. You know, Atoma versus a 19-year-old fighting a 41-year-old. I'm not sure what that does. But if Atoma's going to be a star anyway, he could get better names on his resume. What Atoma needs right now is rounds and experience. I don't think I don't like that fight. And also, you're just putting Derek Chisora in there, who's 41 years old, to just get knocked out. Like at least in this fight, he could hurt Wallen. Wallen's probably going to be, you know, yeah. Wardley versus Atoma makes more sense. Wardley versus Atoma makes more sense. You know, Chisora versus Atoma just don't do anything. I don't think it does anything for either of them, in my opinion. Because even if Atoma wins, what does that do for him? They don't bring him any. You know what I mean? Like you've got to put pressure to. Wardley will fight Atoma, so we've got to put pressure on Wardley to fight him. But like, you know what I mean? You want to get him. You want to put him in fights that are going to bring him closer to the next thing. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Atoma v AJ makes more sense. To be real, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Atoma versus AJ makes more. So that brings him closer to like world title shots and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? But Wardley versus Atoma is the fight. Like, that's the fight that man want to see. Do you know what I'm saying? That fight's done, by the way. This fight we just saw here. Um, that was a serious stoppage and a really good performance from Sufian Kati as well. So it's not going to be long before we it's got Steve Bunce and Carl Frampton here. Carl Frampton, one of my favorite like boxing pundits. I think he's very, very good, or commentators, pundits, whatever you call it. And then yeah, we should have the main event. The main event, like the video if you're here, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Do you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff. You know how it is. And the main event will be coming very, very soon. It's the last dance. The last dance. Derek Chisora versus Otto Wallin. The last dance, bro. Shane, it's like the last time I played you at FIFA. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we had some good competitive games at first, and then I just had to flip in, smack you up, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just drop like a 6-0 on your head. And then, do you know what I mean? Last dance for Shane. He had to retire from FIFA. Do you know what I mean? And put his pad down, and now he's working away for a week in some mysterious location and no one knows where he is. So that's just what it is. That is just what it is. Yeah, Atoma's 19, bro. Like, Atoma's 19. He could be the youngest heavyweight champion of all time if he wins a belt soon. So we want to start maneuvering him towards belts. And we want to, like, even the Wardley fight is a dangerous fight. Do you know what I'm saying? Atoma versus like Fraser Clark makes more sense than Chisora. So I mean, that's like he's got, he's got that he's got that Olympic experience. He's younger and fresher than Derek Chisora, but Atoma will still probably win. That makes more sense. Do you know what I'm saying? Just putting flipping Chisora in there to just get smacked up is just a madness. Now they're doing the media packs. 18 years professional fighting. 18 years professional fighting. Dubois, yeah, I think that's the fight, right? But I just think it's this is what I'm saying. Itoma versus Dubois is what people want to see because they want to see Itoma fight for a world title. But right now, it's a little bit too early. Itoma just knocked out Dempsey McKean. You can't jump from Dempsey McKean to Dubois. So what you need to do is find fights that kind of peer pressure, not peer pressure, because Dubois is not scared to fight Toma, but kind of peer pressure or start to build your profile enough that Dubois has to fight you. And beating Derek Chisora doesn't do that. Beating Wardley does that, or brings you closer to that. Do you know what I'm saying? Getting in there with bigger name people that people know, but are still kind of in the mix. Do you know what I'm saying? Even like if Atoma fought AJ, it's not going to happen. But beating AJ would be like, rah, you're in that school. You need to prove that you're in that crop. Do you know what I mean? You've got Dubois, you've got Parker, you've got Wardley, you've got who else is in that crop? I'm going to put Usyk out of it, but that crop of people, you need to prove that you're in that conversation. So fighting Derek Chisora, don't prove that you're in that conversation. That's what the next fight has to do, is start to push you there. Because at the moment you're young in it. Like he's right now he's Amad Diallo at Sunderland. We need to prove that you're Amad Diallo at United. Do you know what I'm saying? So we need to see you do that. So go in and fight in Chisora is like scoring in League One. That don't bring you closer to Manchester United. That's just Amad Diallo on loan at Sunderland. You feel what I'm saying? Does that make sense? That's my opinion anyway. And we have more boxing coming up for you guys as well. Let me just look up the schedule, because we have a schedule of live shows that we've got coming up for anyone that's here right now. I've never seen a boxing stream of yours, but you seem very knowledgeable. What's your boxing background, bro? Big love for that, man. Big love. I fought amateur. I boxed since I was a kid. My granddad boxed when he first come to the country. My granddad was friends with a guy called Mr. Akai, who was came to the country in the 60s, came to England in the 60s, came to London, and he couldn't join a boxing gym because he was black. So Mr. Akai set up his own boxing gym in West London called All Stars. And my granddad was a friend of his. My granddad passed away last year, but my granddad was a friend of his. My granddad was into his boxing, his martial arts. Then my dad had 5 brothers. All of them box. I've got an older sister. She boxes. My older brothers box. Like all my family box. So I was boxing from about 4 or 5 years old. I've always boxed, and I have an amateur record. I had 8 amateur fights, 2 tournaments, unbeaten amateur boxer, but just didn't really pursue it to them levels. When I got to like 18, 19, man was working and doing other stuff, so I never really pursued it. But yeah, I've been boxing my whole life basically. So with decent with amateur experience of boxing. Never obviously never went pro or anything like that, but there you go. But yeah, man. And Shane's not here, but see me do streams with Shane. Shane is similar. Shane's always been into his boxing. Shane, before I met Shane, he traveled around the world as a like professional boxing journalist. Shane has been to gyms in Philadelphia and New York and California and all across Eastern Europe. And I don't know, Shane, have you done Latin America as well? I'm not sure if he's been to Mexico, but he's been all over the world, traveling different gyms, interviewing different boxers, trainers, coaches, looking into the actual culture of boxing. And he's like a well-schooled boxing journalist. Do you know what I'm saying? And then he left that to only Mexico. So yeah, so he's been around America, Mexico, Eastern Europe, all of those kind of places in different boxing gyms with the coaches and that. So he's like a well-schooled, well-knowledgeable boxing guy. Shane, I probably operate more at the lower end of boxing, if that makes sense. So like I've got friends that are pro boxers, but they're the lower end, kind of regional, Commonwealth. You know, Shane's got a network of boxers that are at the top level. He's been in the gym with Jerome Ennis. He's been in the gym with like top level guys. Do you know what I'm saying? I took Shane to a fight, yeah. I took Shane to a fight, yeah. We make a great duo. I took Shane to a ghetto fight, yeah. Can't remember what fight it was. And man were fighting in the crowd. Shane's like, bro, where have you brought me? Like, is this normal? And I was like, yeah, like, bro, this is like the boxing I'm used to. Man fight in the crowd. Like, this is some ghetto working class, just man in a pub, 2 man are fighting there. There's probably estate agents and man are just fighting in it. And he's like, bro, where have you brought me? Because Shane was in Vegas for flipping Spence versus Crawford and them kind of fights. He was in Saudi for who are you in Saudi for? Usyk. He's in Saudi for Usyk fight. Or you were in Saudi for one of the fights. Do you know what I'm saying? And then the fights I go to are just ghetto, like local man them fighting. But yeah, so man's been in the fight game a long time. Shane's been in the fight game a long time, and then obviously together we have that boxing knowledge. So yeah, that's what it is. And we want to do a lot more content. We're going to be doing some training videos and sparring videos with pro boxers, people in misfits, all the rest of it, people who influence the boxing. Like we're going to be doing some training videos, sparring videos, them kind of funny content, all types of different stuff we've got coming. So, you know what I'm saying, that's what it is. Cool story, man. RIP to your granddad. So cool. Your family has a history of paving the way for Black UK boxers. Axel, big love for that, man. Nah, big facts, man. I know you're Swedish, do you know what I'm saying? But you know, man them a man then, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Man don't discriminate at the end of the day. Do you know what I'm saying? Boxing's a sport for everybody. That's one thing I like about boxing. It's a sport for everyone. You know, politics gets in the way sometimes, but 99% of the time, the fans want to see the best fights. The best fighters fight the best, and that's just what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? So it'll be very difficult to see the best footballer from Brazil play the best footballer from Sweden. Boxing happens a lot easier. The people are more down to earth. They're more accessible. There's money in the sport, but not as much money as football, and not enough money to get in the way. You know, it's just one of them things. Like you know, people are very accessible in the sport, and that's what makes it such a great sport to me. And here comes Axel's boy. Here comes Otto Wallin making his ring walk. Remember, everyone boo Axel in the chat. No, Axel's supporting his boy. Axel's from Sweden, so he's supporting his boy Otto Wallin from the same town, as Otto Wallin as well. Very random that you know Axel come across our streams the other day. I think it was a football stream you came across in it because you said this is your first boxing stream. So it was a football stream that we were watching football together. Me and Axel and a few other people in the chat, and now we're watching Otto Wallin, who's from the same town as Axel. Super random, but there you go. That's what happens when you start to build a community. So, you know what I'm saying? But Otto Wallin's here. He's looking confident. He's not going to be overawed by the occasion. It's not even a big occasion, really, for him. Neither of them will be over. You know, both of them have had probably bigger nights and occasions than this. Do you know what I'm saying? So this ain't gonna be a big deal for him. He's fought Tyson Fury and AJ and all this kind of stuff. So I think Wallen's a hard person to beat. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a hard person to beat. He's big. He's strong. How tall is Otto Wallin? He looks like 6'4", 6'5.5". Oof, bloody hell. 6'5.5". And by comparison, Derek Chisora, a relatively small heavyweight, 6'1.5", 74-inch reach. And Otto Wallin's got the height advantage, 4-inch height advantage, and 4-inch reach advantage. He also fights southpaw, where I was going to say Chisora fights orthodox. Does Chisora fight orthodox? Does Chisora have a style? He just fights. I don't think we could really say too much about his actual style, but yeah, he is fighting out of New York, even though he's from Sundsvall. Is that how I'm saying it right? Am I saying it right, Axel? Sundsvall, Sweden. And Derek Chisora obviously fighting out of Finchley, North London, even though he's from Mbari, Zimbabwe. Derek War Chisora. And he's just been, anytime you watch like boxing crazy moments, me and Shane are going to do some reaction videos. We've got reactions on the channel now to Inoue, and we've got reactions to JR Patai, but we're going to do some reactions to like crazy moments, crazy knockouts and stuff like that. Whenever you're watching crazy moments videos, Derek Chisora will be in there. Do you mean God knows how, for somebody who when he wasn't actually making that much money, he was getting fined a lot of money for some of the crazy antics and stuff like that. Shane just said we're going to be live all month, and next week is Barbosa Catterall, and then it's the big card in Saudi. That's big facts. Let me read out some of the lives that we've got while Derek War Chisora is just doing his ring walk. I was about to do this, but I've got so many notes. Let me just search live. Oh, here we go. So we are going to be live for Chisora versus Wallen, which is today. Catterall versus Barbosa, which is next week. And then the following day, Sunday the 16th, this is also next weekend. Sunday, we're going to be live for Spurs versus Man United. Then the following weekend, we're going to be live on Saturday for the football, for Arsenal versus West Ham. And then I'm going to have a quick break. And then in the evening, we're going to be live again for Bivol versus Beterbiev, and the best boxing card of all time, starting off with Caballero versus Big Bang Zhang, and then we're going to be covering the whole card, and then we're going to be live on the following Tuesday after that, Tuesday 25th, for Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. So we're going to be live a lot. We've got a lot of shows coming up, a lot of content coming out. It's going to be a busy time. So like I say, man's trying to build the community, so make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that anybody else that football fans, rival fans, your brethren who want to come in and banter with them, bring them into the chat, bring them into the community. Do you know what I'm saying? And we'll get the banter rolling. Derek Chisora here just lapping it up. And it is mad, like, for someone who has his record, and I mean, he's never really been an elite fighter. Has he ever been a world level fighter? I don't know if he's ever been a world level fighter. Maybe world, but not elite necessarily. But for someone that's been relatively limited, he's still is getting such a big send off. Like, that just tells you, that's another thing that I love about boxing, is that, like, with just his personality and some crazy antics as well, he's able to come and headline a show for a big send off. Like, you look at football. A lot of us here are big fans of football. I know Axel's a fan of football. Shane pretends to be a fan of football. But like, you look at football, and it's like, if you win trophies, you're somebody, and if you don't play for a big club or you don't win trophies, you're nobody. Whereas in boxing, there are a lot of people that don't necessarily win world titles, but they're big guys in the sport. They're loved in the sport. They've got big fan base in the sport. That's what can happen. But you can do that in boxing. It's such a different type of sport. But let's see what happens. Now I'm realizing the size difference. I'm like, boy, does he knock him out? Like, my prediction might be a little bit. My prediction might be a bit peak still, but I'm gonna back it. I'm going to back it regardless. So I think he has enough. He has enough, in my opinion. And again, quick tail of the tape: 6'1.5". Derek Chisora, 74-inch reach. He's had 48 professional fights, 35 wins with 23 KOs, so a little bit over 50%. 13 losses with 4 KOs. Not ideal. Meanwhile, you've got Otto Wallin, who's I think 6'5.5", 78-inch reach, insane. 197 centimeters tall and 198 centimeters wingspan. Like he's as paused, but he's as wide as he is long. 30 professional fights, so not as many professional fights as Derek Chisora. 15 knockouts to 27 wins. So again, a little bit over 50%, and only 2 losses, one by knockout. And that's AJ and Tyson Fury. So he's only really lost to elite competition, but that's the only time he's really stepped up to elite competition. Do you know what I mean? What Otto Wallin are we going to get? What happens when he fights someone that's not the elite that he's going to lose to, but just a rung below that elite? Watching Otto Wallin versus Dillian White would have been a great fight, because Dillian White also is just a level below that, or he was at a time. Maybe right now he's below that, but 65% KO record for Derek Chisora and 55% KO record for Derek Chisora. So, not similar records. Derek's been fighting a lot longer, more wins for Derek, but also more losses for Derek. So what Derek are we going to see? And I tell you what, Derek's an emotional guy normally, but normally he's like angry emotion. We've been seeing a really emotional Derek Chisora for the whole build-up of this. You've been seeing him crying and all this kind of stuff. People around are saying this is genuine emotion. This isn't like some game plan or something like that. Derek Chisora is not the kind of man to make his game plan crying. But it's he obviously feels it. He feels it, and I really do hope that he packs it in. And I hope he can end his career on a win. That's the most important thing right now at this particular moment, is that he ends his career on a win. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're just doing the final announcements. And what's Derek Chisora's kind of record when he's fought southpaws as well? That's the other thing. I think southpaws is gonna be a little extra tricky for him. He's not a high IQ boxer by any stretch of the imagination. So, that could be difficult for him to sort of navigate in this fight as well. But like I say, we'll see. I think he's got enough to win. I think he's got enough to win, and I think he's got enough to stop Wallen, in my opinion. But you might let me know what you think. Shane obviously disagrees. Shane thinks that it's what? Shane, you think it's a bit of a walkover? If you're going Wallen on points, give me a prediction. If you're saying Wallen on points. And also, I know I keep saying it, but Shane shouts at me if I don't say it. So do like the video as well. It's free. I don't even know why. Saturn algorithm. Shane and these young man. I don't know. Shane taking time out of his date with his gal, wherever he is, to come and drop comments in the chat. Love to see it. Derek Chisora. And I've got another question for you guys, actually. Of current of current professional boxers, who are you going to be most sad to see end their career? They're just standing the face off. There's not a lot of eye contact from both guys. Both guys looking a little bit sheepish almost. Derek definitely broke the eye contact first, but both guys look a bit like didn't really want to look at the other guy. 12 rounds of professional boxing doesn't mean much outside the fact that we're off now, by the way. Round number 1. Otto Wallin trying to move around and get that jab going straight away. Derek with his unconventional Philly shell defense. Derek lands the first clean punch straight right. And he's doing what Derek does, going to dip his head low and try and land like an overhand. That's what he was doing against Joe Joyce, and he had some success getting that overhand right. It was landing all night, but Otto Wallin, you would imagine, has a lot better defense than Joe Joyce, to be fair. Well, he has some defense. Joe Joyce has no defense whatsoever, but there you go. I will actually score this one as well. I wasn't going to score it, but I will score it just in case, because there's, people feel like it might go to points, so we might as well try and get some scores going. And people that don't know me, I do give scores for more aggression. And right now, Derek is doing the seeking. He's doing the seeking, but not really the destroying. Wallen is doing well to sort of just smother the work that Derek's doing. And again, the general consensus is that Wallen's going to have the better gas tank, right? So put round one on the screen. The general consensus is that Derek's going to have, or that Wallen's going to have the better gas tank. So all of this seeking that Derek's doing, good little combination from Derek there. Nice high guard from Wallen. He's such a big guy. It's going to be really difficult to get through his guard. We have seen it done, but only done by Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, really. And only Anthony Joshua really leading to a stoppage. And, Derek doesn't have that level of technical nous or even physical ability, really. Smaller guy, not as big, not as strong, not as fit. Not any of those kind of physical advantages. Derek doing really well to make this an ugly, unconventional fight, as he's always going to do. That's his style. Wallen pouring the jab. This is what I'm saying. Wallen's pouring that jab out a little bit, but Derek's just coming underneath the jab and trying to hit him to the body. Overhand right from Derek. Doesn't really land clean. And to be fair, Derek very rarely lands clean punches, but when he does land a clean punch, it will hurt. Otto Wallin doing really well to just land a couple of jabs in the clinch. It's a really difficult round to score. End of round one. Let me know how you guys scored that. That is basically impossible to score, honestly. That's impossible to score. What do I even do with a round like that? Do I just give it to Chisora based off of aggression? Does Wallen land jabs clean there? What do I do there? Genuinely. What do I even do with that round? I'm gonna go Chisora. I did say I'm gonna lean towards aggression, good aggression. Landed a couple of punches, not totally clean, but cleanish. Derek blowing already. And if he does lose this because of poor kind of stamina and poor control of his gas tank, that would just be really disappointing to see, in my opinion. Yeah, you want to give the best account of yourself on the way out. Round two has just begun. Derek landed a couple of good body shots. We've got it 1-0 to Derek at the moment. So good overhand right. Otto Wallin showing a bit of hand speed. Derek threw a good combination, but the punches were so slow between the combination. Wide left, wide right, wide left. Otto Wallin was able to hit him with a couple of counters in between those punches, which was good. But Derek landed a couple of good power punches. And the thing with Derek as well, everything he throws is a power punch. He just uses his body and just tries to land power punches. No jab, no setup, nothing. Just going for power punches every time. That's why I don't think he's got a bad gas tank. I think he's got a bad game plan. He's Wallen not really engaging just yet. He might lose good left hook from Derek Chisora. He might lose a couple of his early rounds, but he's not going to be bothered. Once the middle rounds come, Otto Wallin will start moving through the gears and he'll coast his way towards the end of the fight. Because he'll be able to outbox a tired Chisora. By round 4 or 5, Chisora will start to slow down, and then Wallen will start taking rounds. So Wallen's not even really trying to win these rounds. The key thing for Otto Wallin is get to round 4 without sustaining anything really heavy. Then you can win rounds. You could win 5, 6, 7, 8 relatively comfortably. And then you only need 2 or 3 of that last 4, and that, you know, you'll be fighting a much easier fight at that point in the fight. Oh, big right hand from Derek. And the thing with these power punches from Derek Chisora, someone like Otto Wallin, you're not really going to clean him out with one punch. 6'5.5", 79-inch reach. Very, very strong man. It's better from Derek. That's better. Nice combination, tighter combination, straight combination, rather than round, straight through. And actually got through the guard a lot better, just going direct rather than going around. That's much better from Derek. You've got to soften him up. He's not ready for the frying pan yet. Got to tenderize the meat. Pause. Derek definitely struggling a bit with the style. Trying to, like I said to you before, he doesn't really have a style. He's boxing quite flat. Sometimes he's leading with the left hand. Often he's leading with the right hand. You wouldn't really say that he's fighting an, even though the right hand's leading, you wouldn't really say he's fighting in an orthodox style. He hasn't really got a style. Very difficult to sort of deal with. Otto Wallin doing really well, just tying him up and then leaning on him. Otto Wallin taking the Tyson Fury approach to this fight. Tie up his work, smother his work, and then lean him. Big right hand from Derek Chisora. He's just landed that brilliantly, and Otto Wallin felt that one right on the nose. That's a good. That's 2-0 Chisora. That's a good round. That's a very, very good round from Derek Chisora, in my opinion. That right hand was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. How do you guys have it? I've got it 2-0 to Derek. Let me know if I'm being biased. London boys and all that got to stick together. From the same part of London as Shane, North London boys. You know these, man, troublemakers. That last right hand was clean. And Otto Wallin's defensive timing has been pretty good so far, but he was off. The defensive timing was off that time, and he just got caught with a big right hand right on the button, right on the zip. But Derek is looking pretty tired. And those of us that were arguing for his gas tank, we're going to be made to look fools, because Derek Chisora is going to be very, very tired by the middle of this fight. Round 3, I wonder if he takes a round off, or does he try to press after just landing some successful punches on Wallen at the end of round 2. Otto Wallin now, this is it. He's starting to go for some jabs. He said, "You've hurt me, I'm going to push you back." Wallen just charging Derek Chisora across the ring, just walking him across the ring like he's his child, walking him to school. Again, Otto Wallin doing some good work, much better. Otto Wallin's he started to fight now. He's come to fight. He didn't really come to fight before. Now he has. And the ref is giving Derek a warning, and it wouldn't be a Derek Chisora fight without the ref giving you a warning. I think that's the punches on the back of the head. Wallin just frustrating Derek a little bit. Wallin not really done anything significant, but like I say, it's just interesting to take note of his activity. His activity's gone up a little bit. Derek leaning in with the head. And again, Wallin just walking him across the ring. Shoulder to shoulder, just walking him across the ring. Not really punching him. I don't really know a lot about boxing. I think Otto will turn momentum in this third. I don't know if he can turn the momentum. It won't be like that, like the movies. He won't turn the momentum like that. He'll slowly start going through the levels. So it won't go from level 2 to level 10. He'll go level 2, and then level 4, and then level 6. He'll just slowly start to up the pace a little bit. He doesn't have to do too much. He ain't got to hurt Derek. He's just got to turn up the pace a little bit. You know, and like I say, at the end of round 2, we saw Otto Wallin take that big right hand, and that's when he realized, actually, the best form of defense is attack. He can't hit me if I'm hitting him. Another overhand right from Derek Chisora. Otto Wallin has gone for a little bit more activity, but Derek Chisora probably still winning the round. Otto Wallin has shown that he's the bigger, stronger man. He's walked Derek back, but he's beat Derek in a wrestling match. But unfortunately, this isn't a wrestling match. It's a boxing match, and he's losing the boxing match here. Good jab. Oh, another big overhand right. Another big overhand right. Otto Wallin has not landed successive jabs at all in this fight, especially not this round. He's landed a one jab, and as he goes for the second jab, Derek is looping down overhand right over the top. He's landed a couple of those. This is definitely a Derek Chisora round. He's starting to pace himself a little bit, Derek. I don't think he's tired. I just think he's pacing himself. And again, when Otto Wallin, what we used to say about Anthony Joshua, he needs to stop throwing one jab and throw doubles. Otto Wallin needs to do the opposite. He needs to stop throwing doubles and throw singles. When he throws a single, he's landing. When he throws a double, he's getting hit back with that overhand right. Jab and then move. Got to make it really boring. Jab and then move. It's a good left hand from Otto Wallin. That's 3-0 Chisora for me. That is 3-0 Chisora for me. Wow. And you're right. Otto Wallin is going to start to move through the gears. He should retire now. What you think Derek should retire now? He's winning 3-0. That's harsh. Derek's winning. He's winning 3-0 already. Remember, it's 12 rounds of boxing. He's only got to win 7 rounds, and then he's just got to try and survive to the rest of it. But this is Derek's style. This is what he does. Boom, big overhand right. This is Derek Chisora's style, and he'll just dig deep and try to get through the fight at the end. You think Wallen should retire? Wow, he busted up Tyson Fury's nose. Derek War Chisora on the warpath. Game plan's working for Derek. The game plan is working. It's just round 4 now. It's just, can he sustain the pace? Let's see if Wallen moves up a gear. I think Wallen needs to throw some diverse punches. He's just throwing that right jab, right jab, right jab, right jab, right jab. That left hand is there to land. He's got to do it. He's got to take a risk. He's boxing like Erdegaard with the ball at his feet. It's all too safe. Got to gamble at some point. And the thing is, when you're the smaller man, normally we say this about the person that's not the stronger man. I don't know who's stronger out of these two. But when you're you'd probably say Wallen, to be fair. But when you're the smaller man, you have to land something significant to get the respect of the bigger man as early as possible. Derek has done that. Wallen is not sure about throwing some of these punches now, because when he's eaten 2 or 3 big overhand rights, big overhand left there from Derek Chisora, Wallen is winning this round, in my opinion. Chisora's movement is so weird. It's so strange, isn't it? He's just looping around. It's all a bit fluid. I think Wallen is winning this round, though, to be fair. He's landed more jabs, and Chisora hasn't really landed in his big power punches, but it's only halfway through the round. That's better from Wallen. Right hand hooks. As Chisora's going for the overhand punches, Wallen's just getting his work done. And like I said before, he won't turn the screw. Like I said to Axel before, he won't just flip the momentum of the fight. He won't do that. They're too close in ability. He's not like you're fighting an Anthony Joshua or someone like that who could hit you with something clean and turn the momentum. He won't turn momentum. He'll just slowly go through the levels. And this is what we're seeing. He's gone from a level 2 to like a level 3 or 4 here. He's just starting to go through the levels a little bit. He's not doing anything amazing, but Derek just can't quite land because he's throwing a few more punches. Good right hand from Derek. They're both fighting really well in the clinch. Otto Wallin probably fighting better in the clinch. Again, he's the bigger, stronger guy. He's dictating the clinch. He's initiating the clinch. But he's got the faster hands as well. Has he got the... Yeah, he probably has got the faster hands. Because he's got the faster hands, Wallen can afford to throw at the same time that Derek throws, whereas Derek needs to preempt what Wallen is going to do and throw ahead of time to try to preempt. Wallen doesn't have to preempt. If we both throw a punch at the same time, I'm going to land and you're going to miss. 30 seconds left of this round. I think it's going to be a Wallen round, in my opinion. That'll make it 3-1. Is he going to start to turn the screw and move through the gears of the fight? Ten seconds left of round 4. Axel said, what I do know is sometimes you think you know what the judges will think, and then it turns out they score it completely differently. I remember the Dmitry Bivol fight a couple of months ago. I had Beterbiev winning that fight, for me personally. Joey, I had Beterbiev winning that fight. I think it was very, very close, but I had Beterbiev winning that fight. So, and I know that's very controversial and everybody agrees. Me and Shane disagreed about this, but That's how I saw it. Beterbiev was more aggressive. Bivol was very, very good at boxing on the back foot, circling the ring, all the rest of it, but didn't land significant punches for me. Round by round, I think I just edge it to Beterbiev. But if Bivol won it, Bivol won it. You know, it was a very close fight. Joe Joyce is there in attendance, Anthony Yard as well. Anthony Yard sitting there next to Frank Warren. What's going to happen with Anthony Yard? I think they were probably going to look for a fight with Zach Parker, which is not really what Anthony Yard wants to be doing. And Zach Parker put on a really shoddy display today, so not really ideal. Would have hoped, I think Anthony would have been hoping he would have put on a better performance so that he could then go and take that fight, but wasn't great from Zach Parker tonight. I don't know if that gets you an Anthony Yard fight. Anthony Yard's still a big name in the British light heavyweight division. Really, we just need to pull our socks up and just get him versus Buatsi and get it over and done with. Round 5, though. And Otto Wallin landed a couple of jabs, but then Chisora's come back with a big overhand left. Nearly halfway through the fight. Like I said, I have it 3-1 Chisora at the moment. But that could change. Wallin hasn't really gone for any power punches. Do we know what Wallin's power is like? We know he busted Chisora's Fury's nose. Chisora's getting rougher and rougher in these clinches. You know, he's getting tied up by Wallin, and Wallin, and he doesn't like it, so he's getting more and more aggressive in these clinches. But I tell you what, those clinches, they take a lot of energy out of good right hand from Wallin. Take a lot of energy out of Wallin as well. So they're probably both getting tired. Oh, it's another good right hand from Otto Wallin. There it goes for the overhand left. Doesn't land clean. It's another Otto Wallin round for me so far. Only halfway through the round though. Oh, it's an overhand right from Derek Chisora. Wallin felt that one. He's gone into his shell a little bit. He's eaten a lot of these punches. This is what Joseph Parker. This is what happened with Joe Joyce. Have you ever felt completely robbed in your own boxing career? And do you often know if you've won or not when you're in the ring? I was fighting amateur, so it's a little bit different. You know, the rounds that there's more set rules on what's scored. Amateur boxing and pro boxing are a little bit different. Amateur boxing is more like fencing. You're gonna score points for touches, and you can count the touches, and your coaches can count the touches. So you typically have a better idea of what the judge is looking at because it's more clear cut. Professional boxing, you could give if with Bivol and Beterbiev, if Bivol was landing jabs off the back foot, but Beterbiev is seeking him out and being aggressive, Beterbiev can get scored points for being aggressive when Bivol will get scored points for landing jabs. So those two things could cancel each other out because for professional boxing, ideally we want to see knockouts because that's what professional boxing is all about. That's how we sell tickets. Amateur boxing isn't about knockouts, it's just about scoring. So if that same fight was in the amateurs, Bivol would have won by far. But it wasn't in the amateurs, it was in the professionals, so it's a little bit different. Chisora has no defense, just weird movement. Yeah, I mean, Chisora doesn't have a lot other than being aggressive and a strong, big, strong unit. End of that round is 3-2, in my opinion. I've got to give that round to Wallen as well. Chisora just, you know, he's got the same game plan, but the game plan in that round just didn't work. It's as simple as that. You know, he's got the same game plan. He tried it, but Wallen is just getting a little bit used to the timing, the speed, the explosiveness. He's just kind of getting a bit used to it. Chisora's got a cut above his left eye as well. I think Wallen's got a bit of face damage, but for me, that round has to go to Otto Wallin. He's just starting to, you know, we've got the term in boxing, download the data. He's just started to download the data of what it is that Derek Chisora does, how he's doing it. He knows the cues of when he's going to throw those punches. And again, it's just too obvious. Derek doesn't have the diversity in his attacks. He's just either going overhand left or overhand right. Dip down and go big overhand left. He landed one or two, but not enough. And Wallin did really good work in between those punches for me. Round 6, halfway through the fight. And the scorecard on TNT has it 5-0 to Chisora. This is what happens in boxing. I totally disagree. I think Wallin won the last 2 rounds for me. I'm looking at the effectiveness. Wallen's game plan is to fight off the back foot, jab, and land clean punches in between Derek Chisora's wild haymakers. and Derek just couldn't land clean in that last round. I think big right hand there, overhand right from Derek. Maybe Derek took the last round off, but I think the last 2 rounds went to Wallen for me. Better, cleaner, more technical work, and just smothering Derek Chisora, not allowing him to get his game plan off. I don't know how it could be 5-0. Amadiala said, "What the fuck, 5-0? No, that's not an official scorecard. That's just TNT, who's the broadcaster. They've got it, or one of the guys has got it as 5-0. But they always do that as well. By the way, they obviously it's their fighter, right? So they just always unashamedly favor the home fighter. But for me, it's 3-2. I give the first 3 rounds to Derek, and then 4 and 5 to Chisora, to Wallen. Sorry." They've stopped the fight just for a second. I think they're going to there's a cut on the eye of Derek Chisora, and it's in a dangerous place, so they're going to get the ref to look at it. Now, I don't know what the rules are because I haven't got the audio on. Often in these types of situations, if the doctor calls the fight off, if it's gone more than 5 or 6 rounds, they'll just go by what the judges have so far. There is a lot of blood coming from the eye of Derek Chisora. It's in a really dangerous place. It's very unlikely they're going to let this continue. I was on the eyebrow. Okay, the doctor said it's okay. I thought it was underneath the eye here, but it's not. It's on the eyebrow, so it's bleeding a lot, but it's actually not too dangerous for like your eyesight. But Derek will struggle to see out of that right eye. Two good left hands, and Derek is a real fighter. And when Derek's hurt, he starts to fight more aggressively. But Otto Wallin just landed 2 good punches as well. Difficult one to score this, in my opinion. 1 minute left of round 6. I'm not sure who I give this round to. This is really tough. They're just both jabbing each other. Oh, it's good power punches. Good power punches. Weirdly, Fury had the cut against Wallen in the same place. Yeah, he did. He did have a cut against Wallen in exactly the same place, just on the eyebrow. I remember he was furious as well. He thought Otto Wallin was going to be a really easy walkover job, and then Wallen came to fight. Axel, I'm going to get to your comment in a second once we get to the end of this round. I'm leaning towards Derek Chisora for this round, but it's very, very close. Maybe I want it to be Derek Chisora more than it is Derek Chisora. I'm leaning towards Derek for that round. I'm going to go 4-2 for that round. Effective power punches, but Wallen was good. Wallen was good on the inside as well. Not on the inside. He was good in the clinches, just in between, in the little half spaces. Axel said, speaking of KSI, do you think celebrity boxing and what it's doing to the sport, and what's your opinion on it? Do you like celebrity boxing? Sorry. To me personally, it's not doing anything to the sport. They're 2 different sports. There's a big, I don't know if you follow Sunday League football, Axel. That's like the lowest level of like football in England. Sunday League teams. It's like your local team. There's a team called SE Dons, and SE Dons have got a big social media following. They've got 250k subscribers on YouTube. They're big, large characters, exciting guys. And they've gone all the way up to like semi-pro football now. So they get paid to play football now. So they've got a big following. They to me are nothing to do with professional football. It's an entirely different sport. And why people keep equating celebrity boxing. Celebrity boxing's been around for years and years and years, especially in the UK. There used to be a thing when we were kids. I'm 31. When I was a kid, they used to do a thing every year or every couple of years where they had like 2 famous sportsmen, a footballer and a cricketer, have a little charity boxing match. It's been going on for years, long before social media. Derek misses a big overhand left. Nothing landed significantly so far for either man in round 7. It's all there to be grabbed. I've got it 4-2 to Chisora. Some people might have it 3-3. Some people might have it differently to that. So this fight is there to be won by both men as we're halfway through the fight. But I've got Derek up halfway through the fight. But you would imagine Wallen is going to get better and Derek is probably going to get worse from here. That's what we would imagine. But yeah, the celebrity boxing thing, I don't think the celebrity boxing and the influence of boxing has any effect on professional boxing. I don't know why it would. They're 2 totally different things. If you see me walking down the street and knock somebody out in a pub, you do not then say, let's see this guy fight Anthony Joshua. But that's what people do with celebrities. I think the problem with celebrity boxing is how people see celebrities. And they'll see a celebrity knock out another celebrity and go, give him Tyson Fury. That's not how it works. There's levels. You know, we all saw that Leighton Orient goal against Manchester City. No one's saying Arsenal, go and sign that player. That doesn't make any sense. There's levels to football. Even if somebody does something really good, there's still levels to sport. And that's what it is. Professional boxing is the elite level of the sport. That's what it is. So I just don't think it does anything. KSI has fought one professional boxer in Tommy Fury. Tommy Fury is a professional boxer technically because he has fought professionally, but he's not really a professional boxer. He doesn't make his living as a professional fighter. That's not what he does for a living. He makes the majority of his money through social media. So he's a social media star. He just happens to have a brother who's famous for being a professional boxer. Jake Paul has fought a bunch of retired MMA fighters and one retired boxer. It's not, you know, anything like that. But without celebrity boxing, there's no way Jake Paul is close to qualified to even talk about fighting Canelo. He's not close to qualified to talk about fighting Canelo now. He's not. He's just, because he's got so, this is what I'm saying. It's the problem I have is how people idolize their celebrities. People idolize their celebrities so much that they'll just follow their celebrity because they like the celebrity. I like 50 Cent. 50 Cent could not beat 50 Cent probably can't beat Derek Chisora in a boxing match. 50 Cent never fought professionally. He fought junior Golden Gloves when he was a kid, but he can't beat Derek. He's never fought professionally. I like 50 Cent. I like his image. He's a tough guy. I like his music, but he can't fight. Good combination put together by Derek Chisora. This could potentially steal the round. Big left hand right on the buzzer, and the nose of Wallen is taking some big hits. I think that he is he felt that, and Derek Chisora knows that's definitely a Derek Chisora round. Derek Chisora knows that he needs to be winning these rounds. And like I said, yeah, like, you know, I finished what you said. You could look at it like someone with more fame is taking a real boxer's spot. Yes and no. In professional boxing, that has always been the case. You know, look at Derek Chisora. Look at Derek. Derek Chisora is going to retire tonight, and he's going to retire with 49 professional fights, right? And multiple millions of pounds. There are lots of heavyweights out there in boxing, professional boxing, who are better than Derek Chisora, who will never have his money and will never have 50 professional fights. But they weren't as entertaining. And, you know, so that's the thing. Round 8 coming up, by the way, they weren't as entertaining. And so this has always been the case. This has always been the case. When you talk about heavyweight boxers, people talk about Mike Tyson all the time because Mike Tyson was exciting. He was a young black New York street dude. He was young and knocking people out, and he had crazy antics. Mike Tyson is my favorite heavyweight, but he's not even in the top 10 greatest heavyweights of all time. But Mike Tyson's more famous than Joe Frazier or you know, some of the, you know, even people like George Foreman and stuff, like people, Joe Frazier and George Foreman would have smoked Mike Tyson in a boxing match, but that's not how they're remembered. You know, it's pre and post social media, right? If you're a football fan, you know, there are footballers out there today that can't, like, you know, that have more followers than footballers that are much better than them. So if that makes sense, that's just what it is. People change how they remember things. So we're 1 minute into round 8. Again, Derek Chisora imposing himself really well. It's an impressive performance from Chisora. So, oh, it's a big left hand. He's loaded up on that left hand. He absolutely telegraphed that left hand was coming. And Wallen couldn't get away with it. Left hand and right hand again. Left hand and right hand again. Wallen is defending, but he's just getting hit constantly. Now Wallen's trying to fight back. Chisora's stamina is starting to slow down, but Wallen is there to be finished, or is there to be dropped. Certainly, how Wallen is still standing up. Derek needs to not empty the gas tank. It's a minute and a half left of the round. He needs to not empty the gas tank. He's gone low, and the ref is going to just give him a second to tell him off. Is he going to take a point away? No, he's not. He's going to give him a warning. I think this could be a tactic from the ref. He's telling him off, but I think he's giving him time to recover. Derek has very nearly emptied the gas tank there, trying to drop Otto Wallin because he landed clean on him a few times. Wallen is a tank to not have gone down because he was just teeing off on him, and Wallen's defense was awful. He's definitely hurt, but he's not going down. And Derek Chisora needs to now just if I was Derek, I would stay away from him now. You've got 1 minute left. Use this minute to get your breath back. He's still following Wallen around the ring. He got another overhand left. Wow. This is exactly what stopped Joseph Parker. He's not getting as many clean punches against Wallen, but he's landed enough. A lot of heavyweights would have dropped by now. Wallen is a big, serious, strong guy. To try and knock guys like this down, it's like chopping down trees. That is insane. Mike Tyson is the most famous fighter ever next to Muhammad Ali, 100%. Mike Tyson, in terms of fame, is the second. When I talk to my friends that aren't into boxing, they think Mike Tyson's like the best heavyweight ever. He's not. He's just got a social media image that people talk about. He's got the antics. He's got this kind of stuff. Derek Chisora, to younger people, also his age. Derek Chisora, to some of you, might be known more than David Haye. David Haye beat Derek Chisora. He was a cruiserweight like Usyk, came up to heavyweight like Usyk, but he wasn't elite like Usyk is. Derek just sitting in the corner, just doing his defensive work now. Really, really smart just to step off of the gas. He'd done what he needed to do to win the round. He'd won the round, but wasn't going to knock him out. Just take a step back and get your breath back because he looked really tired. I've got it 6-2. 6-2. Derek Chisora going into round 9. Who would have thought? I'm just seeing that back again. Overhand left. Hurt Wallen. He started teeing off to the body, and then an overhand right, and then an overhand left, and then an overhand right, and then an overhand left, and a lot of them just smashing through the guard. Wallen trying to fight back in between, but just couldn't. And I don't know how he stayed on his feet there. Big credit to staying on his feet. Good refereeing as well. A lot of refs would have stopped it there, but Wallen wasn't hurt. He was under the cosh, but he wasn't actually hurt. And I actually do appreciate that. It's good refereeing there going into round 9. But yeah, that's what it is. So just in terms of the question that Axel asked, celebrity boxing, it's just a different thing. It's just a totally different thing. You know, we can all meet up and play five-a-side and put it on YouTube. If it goes viral and gets 20 million views, we don't just automatically become better than Man City. That's not how it works. That is just not how it works at all. This is professional sport versus amateur sport. And that's it. Do you know what I mean? Because as much as KSI and Jake Paul and some of those guys might look decent, they're fighting people that have no fighting experience. What next for Wallen? I mean, he's got to go home and have a fucking sauna. First of all, I mean, to be fair, can he win? He's cut Chisora's eye. Maybe he can win. Chisora on points, no one would have seen coming. I mean, Derek Chisora goes for a big overhand right, and Wallen's dropped. Wallen is dropped. I'll tell you what. Derek Chisora just landed a big overhand right, and Wallen stumbled. He's stumbled all the way back across the ring. I've never seen anything like it. He's run backwards across the ring to fall over. And now Derek's going to go for the kill. He's going to go for the kill here. And it might be a mistake to go for the kill. Or is he not? He's not. He's just kind of stalking him. Overhand left again. Derek trying to seal. The whole crowd is on their feet. And overhand left. Now he's been dropped. The ref might look at stopping it because he's actually been dropped. They've given, yeah. Are you watching on TNT, Ahmad? They've given on my TV. They've given Derek every round apart from one. Which, to be fair, I've given Derek every round apart from 2. So it's not too different. It's not too different to my card. I've given one in 2 rounds. They've given one in 1 round. I think they gave him round 6. This will be a 10-8 round as well. Now the crowd is just cheering Derek Chisora on, and it's so dangerous because that's what he loves. Make no mistake about it. He says he doesn't care. That's what he loves. That's what he's going to miss. You see when he lands that big right hand, more than the money, more than anything else, more than the winning. This is a man that's lost 13 fights. He don't give a fuck about winning. He misses getting in the ring and having everyone cheer for him when he lands a big punch. In the feeling of not ever feeling that again is what is keeping him here. But now he's up against the ropes and Wallen's trying to tee off on him. But he's smart. It's a 10-8 round. He doesn't really need anything else. He can take the rest of the round off. This is really good experience. This is good professional experience. He's tired. He's got 40 seconds left, and he knows he's knocked Wallen down. It's a 10-8 round. I'll take the rest of this round off. I'm not going to keep fighting you. You come and look for me now, because I've won this round. Unless you can knock me down, I've won this round. Shane, where you at? The man never calling you. Ahmad said, Shane, come outside. 20 seconds left. Wallen trying to do a little bit of damage, but like I say, Chisora just too experienced for him. Too experienced for him. Wallen is an awful fighter. He's only lost twice. He's only lost to AJ and Tyson Fury. And that is a 10-8 round. That takes me from 8-2 to Derek from 6-2 to Derek to 8-2. Wallen's not great. He's not a great fighter. I'm not going to say he's a good fighter. He's not a great fighter, but neither's Derek, to be fair. You know, and like I say, Wallen's only lost 2 fights, but I just felt like, and I just said the experience that Derek has is invaluable. There's not many guys, honestly, there's not many people that are fighting right now that are pro that have 50 fights. 50 professional fights. You just don't see people with 50 professional fights in 2020. Fucking what year are we in? 2025. You just don't, honestly. And I just felt like that experience. Who? Yeah, who's the owner? Exactly. Yeah, yeah. But Chisora is not the level of AJ or Fury. So it's like, okay, well, where do we put him? Do you know what I mean? That's what made this fight interesting. You know. You got to think Tyson Fury's only had 36 not only, but he's had 36 professional fights. Deontay Wilder's Derek Chisora's had this is his 49th fight, 13 fights more. Do you mean? It's a lot of experience. You can't, I'm looking up other people. Deontay Wilder's had 48, so the same amount, but Deontay Wilder used to just knock people out in the first round, so it wasn't as, grueling. Round 10, Derek, when Derek has somebody hurt, he can be a nightmare, but he's been quite mature. He hasn't gone for the kill, he hasn't gone all out, he hasn't emptied the tank, he hasn't really gone crazy. He's had that busted up eye for most of the fight. He's fought really well. And again, why have we not seen this type of Derek in more fights? But it is what it is. We're here now. We're here to celebrate the career, whatever happens. Hopefully he'll really want to end it with a knockout, but he can't go all out and end up getting stopped himself. He just can't. Yeah, Chisora needs to chill now. Yeah, this is it. Pick his. I think he is. He's going backwards a little bit. He's going backwards more than he was before, but he can't let Wallen get his confidence or just always G'ing up the crowd. He's doing what Tyson Fury normally does, but Wallen's still in this fight. 7 minutes left against someone who's 6'8". No, 6'5.5", 79-inch reach. She's always got to throw something just to keep Wallen back. This is definitely a Wallen round, but Chisora has very much taken the round off. But he does have to throw something just to push Wallen back a little bit, because you also don't want to take unnecessary damage for the last 2 rounds. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, bro, I said it. I said he ain't got a bad gas tank. But remember, a lot of that clinching was taking gas away from Wallen as well. It's not like, they probably have expended the same amount of energy in this fight. Chisora starting to tee off on Wallen now a little bit, but that eye is really busted. Yeah, he's just trying to protect that eye and just get to the last 10 seconds, just get to the end of the round and let the cornermen and the cutmen work on that eye. Definitely a Wallen round, though. Yep, that's a Wallen round. And Nicholas did say, he said, I've got it 8-3 now. 8-3, because I'm going to give Wallen that round. 2 rounds left. What does Otto Wallin do? Does he go for the stoppage? Because that's all he's got. In my opinion, he's only won 3 rounds here. I think on TNT scorecard, he's only won 1 or 2. Are you a fan of UFC? If so, who wins tonight? Strickland? Not really. I know people think it's weird. I love boxing. I don't like UFC. If it's on, I'll watch it. But do you know what it is? I just don't know enough about it. When I'm watching UFC, obviously, if I watch someone get knocked out, I'm like, amazing, a knockout. Everyone loves watching someone get knocked out. But I don't know enough about it. Once they start grappling, I can't tell who's dominating who, or I don't know enough to really watch it. I like sports where I can watch it on a technical level. I don't just want to come on stream and shout and talk shit like a lot of other people do. I want to watch stuff I really know about, and I just don't know enough about it to really watch it and enjoy it. Round 11 though, but I'll watch that fight. We can talk about. I might do some. If you might want to see some UFC streams, man, we can do some UFC streams, and you guys can kind of educate me on the UFC. We can start throwing those streams in there as well. Does he need a KO to win now? Yeah, I think pretty much. I mean, yeah, he's five on my scorecard. He's 5 points behind because he's 6 rounds behind. He's 4 or 5 rounds behind. What have I got it? 7-3. But then with the knockdown, it's 8-3. So he's 5 points behind. There's only 2 rounds left. So even if he wins the next 2 rounds, he won't win the fight. He'd have to win by stoppage, in my opinion, unless he knocks him down both rounds. Even then, he might not necessarily win the fight. And Derek Chisora is not someone who's going to go away easy at all. If you every time you hurt him, he will start fighting back. And that's the problem that AJ has. You can hurt AJ, he goes into his shell. You hurt Derek, he will fly at you. Derek would sooner get disqualified than have you piece him up in the ring on his final fight. Do you know what I mean? He'll rather go out like Zidane. So that's just what it is. And obviously now, obviously he's been Wallen's been dropped. He's been hit with a lot of heavy punches. He might not have it in him to go for the knockout, and he now knows every time he goes forward and tries to be too aggressive, Derek's got big power waiting for him. So Derek has just slowed down on those overhands, but he's just timing them. I believe those overhand punches are still there waiting. They're cooking. There's one right now, overhand left landed. Might have just missed actually, but it's there cooking. He's going to throw it every now and again just to keep you away. He's not actually throwing the overhand right to land it. He's throwing it just to push you away. Probably an Otto Wallin round again. I don't know. It's close. I mean, Derek landed more of the power punch. Oh, big overhand left. Another overhand left again from Derek. I'll tell you what, it's a close round. This. It started off as a pure Otto Wallin round, then Derek just started coming with some bombs. I'm going to leave it neutral, and whoever can take this last 50 seconds, I'll say now, the round is up for grabs for whoever can take it. Neither one of them want to take it. It's been 10 seconds since I said that. No one's thrown a punch. Overhand right from Derek. Advantage Derek. Otto Wallin just not getting his balance. And again, the judges will look at Otto Wallin and favour him just for coming forward to being aggressive. And Derek comes forward to be aggressive as well. Really, really difficult score. Otto Wallin just teeing off on Derek. If he can land one or two of these, he could win the round. Derek goes for a wild haymaker just to push him back. But the round is still there to be won. Derek turns him around in the corner, and the bell goes. Ooh, that's a tough round. I'm going to give that to Wallen. I'm going to give that round to Otto Wallin. That'll make it 8-4 on my scorecard going into the final round. I think he was more consistent throughout the round. Derek had a good 30, 40 seconds in the middle, but at the beginning of the round, the end of the round, it was all Wallen. So I've got to go there on balance. But yeah, it's a good fight. This is a really good fight. This is a very good fight. Going into round 12, who thought Chisora was going to win on points? I can't. Nah, I'm messaging Shane. Man are telling you to back your boy on stream. Round 12 is underway. Here we go. I'll just message Shane saying, man, I'm telling you to back your boy on the stream, bro. Where you at? Round 12. Can Derek end his professional career? 49 professional fights, ups and downs, 35 wins, 13 losses. Can he end with a knock? He'll probably end with a win, but can he end with a knockout? He'll want it. He will want it. Is the risk worth the reward? Because Derek will go all out and just try to survive for the last minute if he has to. Like I said, he's leading with his right hand, but you wouldn't say he's a southpaw. Oh, he's just caught. He just buckled Wallen a little bit. And I tell you what, he could get another knockdown, I reckon, this round. He could. Not because of the power, but just because Wallen just seems a little bit off balance. And so a couple of big punches, especially as Wallen's moving, because his moving is a little bit weird. He's a little bit flat-footed of his movement. Obviously, he's 6'5". Catch him clean on his movement. He could just buckle a little bit. And I think that's a mixture of what happened last time. He's a little bit balanced plus the power of the punch. It wasn't just a pure like power punch that knocked him down. A little bit of balance as well. Big overhand right, overhand left almost as well. They're clinching now. 90 seconds left. Running out of time for a stoppage. Nothing really clean. This is another difficult round to score. I'm edging it towards Chisora. He's being aggressive coming forward. Landed big overhand left there. Another overhand left again. Wallen's only really landing punches when Derek's allowing him to, but Derek really kind of, I want to say dictating the round, but he's in a lot more control in the round than Wallen is. So I feel quite comfortable giving, even though Wallen's landed a couple of punches, I feel more comfortable giving this round to Chisora in my opinion. But you guys let me know. Let me know how you guys score it, because like I say, everyone scores fights differently. Do you know what I mean? We might be seeing things a little bit differently. And that eye of Derek is proper mashup. Last minute of the fight. My stream just lagged a little bit, so I think I'm a few seconds behind. So if anything dramatic happens, it's lagging again. Last 30 seconds now. There you go. Bloody hell, back. It's a really good fight to retire. Good performance. It's a really impressive performance from Derek Chisora. Derek goes for that big right hand again. Oh, left hand on the chin. He lands it. He's landed a couple big left hands. Could he go down again? He's dropped him again. 10 seconds before the end, he's dropped Otto Wallin again. Could Wallen get up? He is going to get. He has got up. He's got up. But that's it. It's another 10-8 round, and that's going to be time. In any second now, that's going to be time. And yep, that's it. That is time. It's not gone for a knockout, but that's another 10-8 round. So I've got it 10-4 in the end. 10-4 to Derek Chisora. He's just comprehensively outboxed Otto Wallin. That is as one-sided a fight as you're going to see. There isn't an actual, there isn't a knockout. I've got Shane's back. Here he is. I got this one wrong, but I'm glad to see Derek leave on a high. That's facts. That is facts. Derek is listen, he's been a great entertainer. You know, I'll tell you what, I'll tell you how, you know, I'm gonna go back to his professional boxing debut. And I think I know what year it was. Yeah, February, 17th of February, 2007. 18 years of professional 18 years of professional boxing. He's fought, before this fight, he's fought 334 rounds of professional boxing. 65% KO record. You know, he's got an unbelievable resume. Otto Wallin on his resume. Joe Joyce. Tyson Fury 3 times. Kubrat Pulev, I think, once or twice. Kubrat Pulev's on there. Kabayel is on there. Alexander Usyk is on there. David Price. Joseph Parker's on there twice. Dillian White is on there twice. Carlos Takam is on there. Kubrat Pulev is on there twice. Kevin Johnson is on there. Malik Scott is on there. David Hay, Vitaly Klitschko, Robert Helenius. Danny Williams is on there. I mean, you know, we're talking about people fighting from different eras. Paul Butlin back in the day. Who remembers Paul Butlin and Sam Sexton? You know, old school British boxer names. You know, this guy's been fighting for a long time. And like I say, you just don't find that many fighters nowadays that have got 50 professional. I know it's not 50, it's 49, but I'm just rounding up. 50 professional fights, 50 professional bouts. So, you know, just getting to. The thing is with boxing, it's like a lot of it is survival. Do you know what I mean? Like, not just in terms of not just in terms of winning the fights, but just being in the boxing environment. Can you be in boxing? Do people want to see you? How many people are there that people want to see for 18 years, for 20 years? People want to keep seeing you in anything, in music, in movies, and 20 years of a career. And in none of that have you been a top level elite guy. That's really, really impressive. Really impressive. I was going to stick around. We all know that he's probably won that. We all know he has won that fight, but especially with the home cooking judges, but he was always going to win. Um, and Shane admitted, Derek, as you said, has the know-how. He knows how to get through the round, and he has that ring craft. 100%. I just felt like the experience of being in there with all those different guys. The experience of being in there with, you know, the level of fighter that he's been in there with. You couldn't really. I just couldn't see it. For me personally, I just couldn't see it. I couldn't see Wallin winning that fight. You've done a great stream today. Well done, my G. Thanks, boss. Thank you. No, it's been lit, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, do you know what I mean? You're out of town with a gal and that, so it's cool, innit? But yeah, bro. Man told me like yesterday he couldn't do the stream and that. Like, bro, this is what man are doing. I'm gonna turn the volume up a little bit. Shane, tell me if you can hear it, because I want to hear what the decision is. Can you hear that, Shane? You shouldn't be able to hear it. Just waiting for the final decision, man. Them. If anyone's leaving, that's calm. Just like the video on the way out. You know what it is already. Del Boys got it. Unanimous decision. They said this is for like IBF or something. What belt is this for, bro? These managers making up belts, bro. What, bro? Hella belts. Like, what are we actually doing here? Like, what are we actually doing here? Do you know what I'm saying? Impressive career, big facts. Unanimous for Del Boy, big facts. You know, and that's Otto Wallin, bro. Do you know what I mean? That's the same man that mashed up Tyson Fury's eye, and Tyson Fury said, "Oh, I wasn't motivated for the fight," and all these types of excuses. We know about Tyson Fury and his excuses already. We ain't even got to go over that. But unanimous decision win for Derek Watchalong. He's going to say some final words. Let's hear what he's got to say for himself. Do you know what I'm saying? But like I say, 20 years, all them fights, bro. That's it's not a legendary career, but it's a very, very solid career. Do you know what I'm saying? I can't even think of like a football equivalent of who he is, but he's telling the fans, don't leave, don't leave. I want to talk to you. He wants to introduce everyone to John Oliver. He's going to have a little chat about it. While he's talking, I think we know what he's going to say, talking about his career and the people that supported him and whatnot. Frank's told him to get on with it, blood. You can see he's emotional. Should Wallen also retire? That's a good question. Should Wallen retire? Wallen's had 30 professional fights. That was his 30. No, that was his 30th professional fight. 34 years old. He's lost. He's a shutout, not almost a shutout. I think he won 2, 3 rounds. If you can't outbox Chisora, who can you outbox? Or unless you take Chisora's. The thing is, I was going to say, unless you take Chisora, you go and be the gatekeeper. But I think there's better people out there to go and be a gatekeeper. Do you know what I mean? Like, Wallen's not even like, he's not aggressive enough, in my opinion, to take that spot. I don't see where Wallen possibly goes from here, in my opinion. I really don't. And I'm listening to Chisora. He's giving the emotional chat about leaving and stuff, and I think that's good. I think that he should go. You know, this is definitely time. In the past, he was about to retire before, and then he drop White, or he put in a really good performance against White, and that kind of reinvigorated him to get back into it. He said, actually, I've still got more to give. And then he got the payday against Tyson Fury because they're mates. For he was like in a mandatory position for some fucking weird reason, and Tyson Fury had a farcical title defense against him. But he thought, I've got more to give. And after that performance, you could see he probably still does have more to give in the ring, but you've got to leave it. You've got to leave it. Do you know what I mean? Man said like Harry Kane, more like Casemiro blood. You know what I'm saying? Like that. But he's got to leave it. Football is so different to boxing, right? It doesn't have the physical toll on you that it does. You're not going to sustain the damage. The recovery is going to be harder. I'm 31. I'm nearly 32. I play football every Monday, and the recovery is starting to get a little bit tricky for man. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm playing a tournament tomorrow, and I'll probably have to cancel Monday football because I can't play. I might do, I might not, but generally speaking, I can't play 2 days in a row. And before I play football 3-4 times a week. I can't play 3 times a week now. Do you know what I'm saying? Just my knees and everything like that. Like it's just normal, no injuries or nothing, just normal wear and tear. And boxing is a blood sport. It's really, really difficult. Um, and Derek's just getting all his boys in the ring to say his thank yous and say all that kind of stuff. And I think that's sweet. Like that's really sweet for him. And like I say, we've seen Derek it's a bit like Mike Tyson, to be fair. We've seen him be young men, angry men. And for me, it's really sweet to see these people um, grow into mature older men. It's the maturity that I'm seeing from these guys. He's got a present for someone. What's this present? What's he got? What the hell? He's got a picture of Usyk. Is he going to say he's fighting on? He's just given. He's got Daniel Dubois, Tyson. No, he's going to fight on. He's got Lethal B and Tiny Temper. He's got Lethal B, Tiny Temper, and someone else holding up pictures of Anthony Joshua, Usyk, and Dubois, and he's going to ask the crowd which one he should fight next. He's getting them to hold it up. Does he want the crowd are cheering heavily for Usyk? He's not going to get Usyk's not going to fight. Big cheer for AJ. Small cheer for Dubois. No one wants to see him fight Dubois. He will get ironed out by Dubois. I think the biggest cheer there was for AJ. He wants the 50th fight, and a Derek Chisora AJ fight. He wants the 50th fight. I don't know. I don't think he gets it. I'll be honest. I don't think he gets any of those fights. His name's not big enough. He's not going to generate the revenue that a couple of years ago, or even a year ago, Anthony Joshua, even last year, Anthony Joshua was making 15, 20 million a fight. Derek Chisora doesn't do that for him. Usyk is world champion. Derek Chisora doesn't do anything for him. He's already beat him anyway. Daniel Dubois, he's a world champion. There's nothing there. You know, yeah, I want him to win his 50th fight, not get ironed out. 100%. 100%. Yeah, I don't even know if he should have a 50th fight. I don't even know if he should. I think Floyd Mayweather's 50th fight was Conor McGregor. He retired, really, in my opinion, 49-0. 49 fights is still really impressive. I think Rocky Marciano or Jack Dempsey, one of them had 50. Some people always want the 50. 50 is like a big. Those fights that he's looking at, he's just not going to get them. Really sweet what he's done, and holding it up and all the rest of it. Yeah, it's nice, but he's not gonna he's just not gonna get any of those fights. Do you know what I mean? He just it looks good. It does look good, but none of them would fight him. The reality is it doesn't do anything for any of them. Do you know what I mean? The one I would probably want to see if I had to pick one would be AJ, because I think there's jeopardy there for both guys. AJ could easily knock out Chisora easily, and we saw AJ hurt Dubois. Chisora has none of the punch resistance that Dubois has. AJ could iron him out. Equally, a couple of those big overhand rights, AJ could be on Queer Street twerking again. So it just depends. But, you know, I don't, you know, that's the only one. But Usyk jabs his head off and moves around all day, and Dubois just knocks him out clean, 100%. Look, Dubois probably knocks him out in the first round, to be fair. So that's what he just doesn't generate the money. Look, tonight's his 49th fight. It's not even a pay-per-view fight. I don't want to be disrespectful. It's not even a pay-per-view fight. How much is he getting paid for tonight? Probably not massive. Under £1 million, you probably say. It's got to be under £1 million. Any of those fights, he's going to want multiple millions. You know, the guys that are there, Lethal B and Skepta's there and whatever. Yeah, Skepta's there every minute. That's a friendship thing. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not a money thing. That's their brethren. Derek has always been a big bro for a long time from the ends. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is. But listen, let me wrap it up because you know that was all sweet and that. But Derek, you don't want none of that, bro. Let me put the banner back up. Derek won by unanimous. This is how I'm going to remember you, Derek. You won by unanimous decision. You outboxed Otto Wallin, and for me, that is how I'm going to remember you. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't want to remember you any other way other than that. And that's just what it is as far as I'm concerned. Do you know what I mean? So with that, I'm going to close off the stream, man. It's been lit. Do you know what I'm saying? Final comments in, maybe Miller or Anderson. But them fights ain't gonna make no money, man. Like no one cares. Like no one. Like on what? Like on what show? On what? That would remember. Bear in mind, he's just been a main event here. Him against Miller is not going to be a main event. Where like that would have to be an undercard for something, and he won't want to be an undercard. Do you know what I mean you're better off bowing out as the main event? Surely retire as a main event. Do you know what I'm saying? Him versus Jared Anderson. That's not going to be a main event. Like who's going to put the money up for that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like it's just nah, man. Nah, he's got to leave it now, man. Great stream. It didn't go my Swedish brother's way, but we'll be back. Now, big facts, man. Shout out to you. Do you know what I mean? Have a word of your strikers as well and get one of them into Arsenal in the summer, man. Dillian White trilogy. It's just bro, Dillian White just fought in Portugal. Dillian White. Like, bro, what are we doing? Like, you man are trying to put me in a time capsule and make me believe it's like pre-pandemic. Like, it's not 2016. Like, do you know what I mean? Pre-Brexit and that. Like, it's not the vibe, bro. It's not like who wants to sit? Dillian White isn't even headlining shows in the UK right now. He's not. Dillian White can't headline the show. Right now, Chisora is a bigger name in British boxing than Dillian White is. That's how mad it is, bro. That's how mad it is. Like, let's just leave it in it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're there with Lethal B and Tiny Temper, Chipmunk, and all the North London dons are supporting you. And that. Just bow out, bro. Just because realistically, I'll be honest with you. I'll be totally honest with you, yeah. Skepta's not coming out to another one of these, bro. I'm being real. Skepta's not coming out to watch you fight Jared Anderson on an undercard somewhere. It's not gonna happen. So you know what I mean? That's just what it is. So I don't want to be rude, but that's where we're at. Listen, man, it's been lit. It has been lit. It's been wavy. We've got, like I said before, we've got a lot more content coming. Like the video on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Do you know what I'm saying? Big love every time. Ahmad, you know what it is, man. Big love to all the man them. I'm out. Peace and love every time. You know what it is.